Chapter 829. He walked to Su Xiaoshue's home. It was already past 9 p.m. Wang Yao went in and stayed for a few minutes before leaving. "Mom, I brought some fruits for you. Mr. Wang planted them himself. They are delicious. Have a taste. Where is Auntie Lian? Do you want to try some? Your Auntie Lian has something to do tonight. Did you have a good time?" "Yes, I attended my sister's wedding. I was supposed to be the bridesmaid, but I didn't do it." "Why?" "Mr. Wang said I was too beautiful in a formal dress. He was afraid I would be too dazzling and steal his sister's limelight," Su Xiaoshue said. "Well, my daughter is so beautiful. You will be even more beautiful in a formal dress." Song Ruiping smiled. "I think Wang Yao did the right thing. On the day of the wedding, the bride is the main character. I know, so I didn't insist. Mom, do you want to try this fruit?" "Yes, try it." Song Ruiping picked a grape and put it into her mouth. "Well, it's delicious," she exclaimed. It was sweet and juicy. It was indeed delicious. She had never eaten such delicious grape. After eating one, she wanted to eat a second one. "Please try something else." "Okay." According to Song Ruiping's usual habits, she wouldn't eat anything at this time of the day. Tonight, she made an exception. Firstly, it was because of her daughter's good intentions. She brought the fruits back from afar. Secondly, these fruits were really delicious. "Is it delicious?" "Delicious, very delicious," Song Ruiping said. Song Ruiping said, "I didn't expect Wang Yao to be such an expert in treating diseases. This fruit is also so delicious. Did his parents grow it?" "It was planted by Mr. Wang himself on Nanshan Hill. I picked it with him," Su Xiaoshue said. "Keep it for your father and Auntie Lian to try. Eat it. There are more on the hill. Mr. Wang said he would send some to us regularly in the future." "Well, it's rare for him to be so thoughtful," Song Ruiping said. After chatting with her mother for a while, she went back to her room to sleep. The next morning, Wang Yao first went to his second aunt's house and gave her some local specialties. He chatted with her for a while and then went to the small courtyard. Only Chen Ying was there. "Sir, why are you here?" "I came here last night to see a patient." "Where's Xiao Zhou?" "I've gone to school. Please come in, sir." Chen Ying was very happy to see Wang Yao. She quickly invited him into the house. "Come, try the homegrown fruits on the mountain." Wang Yao handed a plastic bag to Chen Ying. He didn't bring anything with him this time, only some fruits and specialties. "Thank you, sir. Please take a seat. I'll go wash the fruits." Chen Ying made tea and washed fruits. Delicious. After eating a jujube, Chen Ying's eyes lit up. It was crispy, fragrant, and sweet. "Try them all. They're quite delicious." "Sir, how long are you planning to stay this time?" "I'm not sure. Probably around 3 days," Wang Yao said. "Why don't you stay a little longer? The maple leaves on Xiangshan Hill are about to turn red." The red maple leaves on Xiangshan Hill were famous both at home and abroad. It was one of the famous 8 sceneries of Beijing. Every autumn, red maple leaves would be everywhere. It was very beautiful. However, it was not suitable now. It had to be closer to the frost season. "Can I come again by then?" Wang Yao asked with a smile. "Oh, I want to see the patient here today. Is that okay?" "Of course it's okay," Chen Ying said. In fact, the small courtyard was originally under the name of the Su family. Although it had not gone through the legal procedures, Wang Yao was now the son-in-law of the Su family. This courtyard was originally given to him by the Su family. Strictly speaking, the brother and sister were just living here to help manage it. "I've been taking care of your room. You can move in at any time." "Okay, thank you." "You're welcome." Wang Yao called Song Ruiping and told her that he was ready. The woman could come over at any time. "Okay, I got it. I'll ask her to come over now." Song Ruiping could not let go of her face. Otherwise, she would not be willing to cause trouble for Wang Yao. Not long after, a pale-faced, slim woman in her 30s accompanied by a well-dressed man came to the small courtyard. "Hello, Dr. Wang." "Hello, please sit down." Wang Yao had been looking at the woman since she entered the room. Her face was pale without a trace of blood. This was a sign of insufficient qi and blood. Her eyes were dull, and she had bags under her eyes. She did not rest well and was not in good spirits. Her hair was dry, and her kidneys were insufficient. Her breathing was uneven. This woman's qi and blood were not flowing smoothly. She was not in good spirit. Her 5 viscera were restless. These were symptoms of a serious illness. The key problem was that she was not alone. She had a small life in her stomach. The birth of a life required a considerable amount of nutrition. It required a healthy body to support it. Obviously, the woman's current physical condition was not enough to support the birth of such a life. According to her current situation, the child would have problems sooner or later. It would make her body, which was already very fragile, even more fragile. "Your body is very weak," Wang Yao said. "I know that. You shouldn't have this child at all. If you want it, you should at least nurse your body back to health." To be honest, she was gambling with her own health and life. "Based on your current physical condition, it's very likely that you won't be able to keep this child. It will make your already poor health even worse." The woman's expression became even more gloomy. She sat there and drank silently. "I really want a child. A child of my own." Her voice was very soft and bitter. "Come, let me take a look." When he tried, the problem was even worse. This was troublesome. "What's wrong?" Seeing Wang Yao's serious expression, the woman's heart was also in her mouth. "Let me think about it." Judging from her pulse, the child would be lost soon. Her body was too weak, and she had experienced 2 miscarriages in the past. This was a sign of habitual abortion. He stared at the couple sitting in front of him. The focus was on the woman. "Why? Why do you want this child so much?" "My first child died less than a month after it was born." I. The woman's tears flowed out. The man sitting next to her held her hand tightly. He did not say a word from beginning to end. However, from his eyes and actions, it could be seen that he loved the woman next to him very much. "Do you want to keep this child?" "Yes, I am willing to pay any price." The man spoke for the first time. His voice was powerful and resonant. "You?" Wang Yao smiled. "How about this? You can trust me. I will give it a try. However, there is a prerequisite. Everything must be done according to my arrangement. If you can promise to do it, we will continue. If you can't, please leave." "Promise, we promise to do it." "Very good," Wang Yao said. "From now on, you are not allowed to smoke, drink, wear perfume, or use any cosmetic." And you sprayed it on your body, right?" "A little," the man said. "What I mean is, to put it simply, avoid strong external stimuli, especially smells," Wang Yao said to the woman. "You should be very sensitive to stimulating smells, right?" "Yes, quite sensitive," the woman said. "My nose is very sensitive." "It is the same at home." I will throw away all the smelly things at home when I go back," the man said. "Recently you need to rest," Wang Yao said. "Don't move around too much. Stay in bed for at least 12 hours a day." "Okay." The man took out a pen from his pocket and wrote it down one by one. "The key is to maintain emotional stability," Wang Yao said. "Your nerves are too tense. You are too nervous. You care too much about this child. This will cause problems." "I know that," the woman said. "I haven't been resting well recently. I am too worried about this child, but I can't not worry. I don't care." "Well, wait a moment. I will make a medicine. You go back and take it," Wang Yao said after thinking for a moment. "Oh, okay." Chapter 830. Wait a minute. Wang Yao left the room and went to the small courtyard. "Sir, the medicine pot is ready." "What about the herbs?" Chen Ning asked. She had prepared all the things Wang Yao usually used, especially the tools for him to make medicine. I have the herbs with me. Thank you. Wang Yao was brewing the medicine. Chen Ying decisively chose to retreat to the side. Moonlight grass nourished the yin and calmed the nerves. Everlasting grass nourished the 5 viscera and nourished the body. Yushui nourished the blood and qi and stabilized the soul. Guiyuan harmonized the efficacy of various herbs. These herbs were what he had now. They were suitable and could temporarily protect the fetus in the woman's belly. In fact, he had a more suitable licorice root. Purple-backed dragon tooth dispelled the evil spirit in the chest and abdomen and nourished the fetus. However, he did not have this licorice root. He had planted it in the herbal field on Nanshan Hill. These 4 herbs were all licorice root. This medicine was extraordinarily precious. Crackle! The firewood burned. Several herbs were added in one after another. Soon, the smell of medicine wafted out. Moonlight grass could not be cooked for a long time, so it was added last. A medicine that nourished the yin and calmed the nerves, nourished the blood and qi, and nourished the 5 viscera was only finished. It would be even better if purple-backed dragon tooth was added. However, these herbs should be enough. The couple in the room waited quietly. However, after a while, the woman was a little tired. She leaned on her husband's shoulder. After the medicine cooled down a little, Wang Yao put the medicine into a small bowl and poured it into it. All right, drink this bowl of decoction first. Wang Yao handed the decoction to the tired woman. Her body was really weak. After drinking the medicine and waiting for about half an hour, Wang Yao checked her pulse again. How do you feel? I feel warm in my stomach. It's very comfortable. I also feel a little more energetic, the woman said. As soon as she drank the medicine, she felt a wave of warmth spread through her limbs and bones, making her feel a lot more comfortable and not as tired as before. Wait a little longer, Wang Yao said. After another hour, Wang Yao checked her pulse again. Her pulse was slightly better. All right, take this medicine back. Take it once in the morning and once in the evening. Take a small bowl each time until you finish it. Oh, thank you. What about the medical fee? 1 million, Wang Yao said. The woman was slightly taken aback. No problem. The man transferred the money without any hesitation. He was quite delighted. Come back in 2 days. Got it. Thank you. The two of them expressed their gratitude and left. From beginning to end, Wang Yao did not know their names or what they were doing. He only knew that the woman was Su Xiaoshue's cousin. It's them. You know him too? Yes, Feng Jiahe and her husband, Lu Jingfeng. Feng Jiahe is Miss Su's cousin. Yes, I know about their relationship. I didn't ask for her name. Needless to say, these 2 people were from a rich family. Otherwise, they wouldn't have spent 1 million on this medicine so easily. She is also a poor person. She couldn't even keep her children, Chen Ying said. Her body is not suitable for bearing children, Wang Yao said. Her body was already weak. Bearing children was an extremely exhausting process. It was not a short period of time. It would take a day or 2. After the couple came out of the small courtyard and got into the car, Lu Jingfeng softly asked, Do you really feel better? I really feel much better. My body is warm, and my head is much more comfortable, Feng Jiahe said. That's good. This medicine is too expensive. As long as the children can be saved, it is worth it, the man said with a smile. Sit tight. Let's go home. Okay. In the small courtyard, Wang Yao poured the remaining dregs of the decoction under the ginkgo tree in the courtyard. The dregs of the licorice roots still had a certain amount of efficacy. They could promote the growth of the plant. Sir, would you like to have lunch here? No, I have an appointment with Xiaoxue to eat at her school. I haven't eaten in the cafeteria for a long time, Wang Yao said with a smile. That's good. After looking at the time, Wang Yao refused Chen Ying's kindness to drive him. He walked to Yanjing University. It was not far from the university. The education level of Yenjing University was one of the top in the country. Elites from all over the country gathered there. There were a lot of talent. Su Xiaoxue held Wang Yao's arm and walked on the campus of Yenjing University. It happened to be the restaurant where the morning classes ended. At this time, the road was the most crowded. Su Xiaoxue was very famous at Yenjing University. She was known as the most beautiful campus belle. Many people worshipped her as a goddess. However, she was taken by a person who came out of nowhere. If looks could kill, Wang Yao would have died many times. "Oh, I feel a strong smell of gunpowder and jealousy from their eyes," Wang Yao said with a smile. "Is that so?" "I am, sirs." Su Xiaoxue leaned tightly on Wang Yao's arm. Good Lord, this action was even more unbearable for those people. "No, I want to duel with him." "Save it," Wang Yao said. "Have you inquired about his identity? It's not like you don't know Goddess Su's family background. Look at him. How is he better than me? Maybe he has a good father. Maybe he was betrothed before he was born? Are we really going to eat in the cafeteria?" Wang Yao asked with a smile. "Why? Do you want to go to a restaurant?" "No, let's go to the cafeteria. I have to declare my sovereignty," Wang Yao said. Then, in the most crowded place in Yenjing University, he did something that made many people's eyes pop out of their sockets. He gently lowered his head and gently kissed Su Xiaoxue. 2 red clouds immediately flew up on everyone's faces. "That's too hateful, too hateful! This is a provocation, a naked provocation." Someone could not help but directly block the way. "How should I address you, sir?" This was a handsome and sunny student. He was dressed very well and spoke very politely. "Wang Yao. Mr. Wang, my name is Li Runf. I am a junior this year. I also like Xiaoxue." "Your pursuer?" Wang Yao turned his head and asked Su Xiaoxue with a smile. "Sorry, I don't like you. I only like you," Su Xiaoxue said very clearly. The student named Li Run was not angry or discouraged. He still had a gentle smile on his face. "It doesn't matter. You are not married yet." "Soon," Su Xiaoxue said. This time, Li Run's expression changed a little. "You are not married after all, right?" "Li Run, I think you are a bit too much. She has said that she doesn't like you." "I am still here. What do you mean by these words?" Wang Yao said with a smile. "If you are not married, I have a chance." "Well, I don't think you have a chance," Wang Yao said. "Haha." Li Run smiled. Oh, his face suddenly changed. "What's wrong? I have something to do. I have to go first." He suddenly turned and left in a hurry. He went to the nearest teaching building. "Hey, what's the matter with the famous Li Run?" "That's right. How could he lose so easily? I was still thinking of having a fierce battle and snatching her away." Many people who had the intention of watching a good show were greatly disappointed. At this time, Li Run came to the teaching building. He looked hurried. His face was a little ferocious. He gritted his teeth. "Senior, where are you going?" A good-looking female student asked with a smile. "I have something to do." "Senior, are you free?" "Yes, I am." There was a pft, followed by a foul smell. The female student's face also changed. She unconsciously reached out to cover her nose. "Senior, please go ahead." This time, student Li's expression became very ugly, because just now, his fart brought out feces, and it even pooped in his crotch. He hurried to the nearest bathroom. He smelled bad. That afternoon, Li Run stopped Su Xiaoxue's boyfriend and tried to compete. As a result, the news that he had shit all over his pants spread on the campus. Fortunately, Li Run was mentally strong and did not go crazy. When they met in the afternoon, Su Xiaoxue asked with a smile, "Sir, did you do this?" Chapter 831. What did I do? Wang Yao asked with a smile. "Senior Li, I heard he pooped in his pants after talking to us," Su Xiaoxue said. "Maybe he ate something bad. Young people don't pay attention to food hygiene, Wang Yao said. Sir, Su Xiaoxue said coyly. It was me. We were showing off our love, and he asked for trouble. He deserved it, Wang Yao said. How did you do it? Su Xiaoxue asked curiously. She clearly remembered that they were still some distance away. It's easy. What do I do? I'm a pharmacist. It's easy to do something to the meridians in his abdomen. A pharmacist can not only cure diseases and save people, but also cure people who ask for trouble. I specialize in curing all kinds of dissatisfaction, Wang Yao said with a smile. But he was more than 3 feet away from us, Su Xiaoxue said. I can pick the autumn pears from the top of the tree from a few feet away. Naturally, I can stimulate his acupoints from a distance. Hitting his acupoints from a distance? Well, you can think of it that way, Wang Yao said. Sir, I don't think it's good for you to do that, Su Xiaoxue said. My senior is quite famous. He is the Prince Charming in the hearts of many female students. It's not a big drop. It's bad. Sir! Ha ha ha. Wang Yao couldn't help laughing. Sir, he won't have any sequelae, will he? Su Xiaoxue asked. Yes, if he dares to pester you again, I'll make him poop in his pants every time he sees you, Wang Yao said seriously. Well, no. Su Xiaoxue waved her hand. Well, let's go. Okay. They went to a small restaurant in Jing for dinner. It was not big, but one had to make an appointment 3 days in advance to eat there. Moreover, the guests did not have the final say on what to eat. It was the owner and chef of the restaurant who had the final say. Whatever he cooked, the guests would eat. The rules are so strange. Is it strange? There are several restaurants like this in Jing, Su Xiaoxue said. I'll take you to eat. Okay, I have nothing to do anyway, Su Xiaoxue said. The dishes were served. There were 6 dishes and a soup for 2 people. The aroma was overwhelming. That's too much for us to eat. That's not up to me, Su Xiaoxue said. The dishes were mainly mellow and fragrant. In fact, the taste was above average in Wang Yao's taste, but the ingredients were absolutely top-notch. Well, sir? Not bad, Wang Yao said with a smile. Unknowingly, night fell. The night in Beijing was very bustling. Many people only started their real lives after the night fell. They lived to release their true hearts, because during the day, they were in different companies, in their respective positions, busy for their lives. Most of them did not want to be like this. At night, after work, they needed to relax, to release, to vent, to anesthetize. Therefore, the night in Beijing was noisy, full of lights and full of extravagance. However, for some people, they would rather stay at home to accompany their family and enjoy the peace of home. In a high-class residential area in Beijing, there was an independent villa. Feng Jiahe had just drunk the medicine and was half leaning on the sofa. How do you feel? Her husband asked softly beside her. Pretty good. My body is warm, and I feel better than during the day, Feng Jiahe said. Well, I see that your face is rosier. Dr. Wang's medicine is quite effective. Her husband was very attentive. He had not gone out since he came back. He had been by his wife's side. In fact, since he knew that his wife was suspicious, he had spent most of his time by her side. He was afraid that something would happen to her. Therefore, he also noticed some subtle changes in his wife's body after only half a day. Of course, these were all good changes. He was very happy to see them. Dr. Wang's medical skills are really amazing, Feng Jiahe said. Yes, but his rules are very strange. If he doesn't want to see a patient, he can't do anything, Feng Jiahe said. That's where the relationship between Xiaoxue and him lies. Does Dr. Wang have any preferences? Lu Jingfeng thought for a moment and asked. I really don't know about that, Feng Jiahe said. Take some time to ask. Well, I think it's better to ask Xiaoxue directly. Okay, I'll give her a call later. At this time, Su Xiaoxue had just returned home. She received a call from her cousin. Although the other party's words were very tactful, she could hear it. No, sister, haven't you already paid the consultation fee? Su Xiaoxue asked with a smile. The consultation fee is the consultation fee, Feng Jiahe said. Feng Jiahe said on the other end of the phone. They were interested in this relationship. With her current physical condition, she might have to trouble him in the future. She took advantage of this opportunity to make a good friend. It would be easier to talk in the future. In the end, she did not get any useful information from Su Xiaoxue. She won't say, Feng Jiahe said to her husband. Forget it, Su Xiaoxue said. I'll think of another way. It's almost 9 o'clock. Let's go to sleep. I also feel a little tired, Su Xiaoxue said. That night, she slept very soundly. Unlike before, she would wake up in the middle of the night, be awakened by nightmares, and then be unable to sleep again. After sleeping until dawn, she suddenly felt more comfortable and energetic. Sleep was the best way for the body to recover. It's so comfortable, the woman exclaimed. I haven't slept so well in a long time. Well, I got up twice in the middle of the night to see you, the man said with a smile. I didn't expect you to sleep so soundly. It's rare to sleep until dawn, Su Xiaoxue said. After waking up, I'm not dizzy. I'm also energetic. Okay. In the morning, after breakfast, Wang Yao accompanied Su Xiaoxue to Yanjing University for classes. There were still many people in the university who were pointing at them and gossiping about them. He also heard some people talking about Student Li, a very sad Student Li. I really had a stomachache that day, Li Run explained to his classmate with a red face. It wasn't a scare. Okay, you don't have to explain, Wang Yao said. I saw Goddess Su and her boyfriend again today. Do you dare to stop them later? What's there to be afraid of? Bet. Let's bet. No, let me remind you, Wang Yao said. You have to prepare pants and toilet paper. Shut the F***ck up. Li Run roared. After class, the two of them decided to have lunch on campus. I saw them, Su Xiaoxue said. Where is he? Wang Yao asked. Coming, Su Xiaoxue said. Wang Yao and Su Xiaoxue walked on the campus. Li Run had already prepared in advance. This time, he had a bouquet of flowers in his hand. Hello, Xiaoxue. Why is it you again? Seeing Li Run, Su Xiaoxue was a little unhappy. I said I wouldn't give up, Li Run said. Tsk, you are really shameless, Wang Yao said with a smile. How can this be shameless? This is persistence in love. Wang Yao was too lazy to talk to him after hearing that. Li Run's face changed greatly because he suddenly felt a severe pain in his stomach. There seemed to be something fermenting, stirring, and bubbling inside. It was eager to come out of his stomach and was looking for an exit. Obviously, it was below. I'll go first, Xiaoxue. Li Run didn't even have time to give her the flowers. He hurriedly ran away. Hey, what's the situation? Why did he run away again? Could it be that he pooped in his pants again? Damn, is it true? With a sound, he smelled bad. At this time, Li Run wanted to cry but had no tears. He really pooped in his pants again, and it was not the kind that came out when he farted. It was a large amount and smelled bad. My God, why is it like this? Sir, I can't find him, so I'll make him feel uncomfortable, Wang Yao said with a smile. Sir, he won't commit suicide, will he? No way. Wang Yao was stunned. I think he is quite shameless. Such a person's psychological quality is generally better. He won't take it so easily, right? That's hard to say, Wang Yao said. In fact, there have been accidents at Yanjing University almost every year. Chapter 832. Really? Is his psychological quality that bad? Well, in fact, for ordinary students, the learning pressure here is quite heavy, Su Xiaoxue said. Think about it. Before they came here, they were all elites in various places. They were all top-notch. However, when they came here, they realized that they were surrounded by such people. The advantages they once had were all gone, especially those students who worked several times harder than others to come here purely through learning. The gap is too big. They only know how to study. The learning atmosphere here is actually changing. Some students' hearts are very fragile. Su Xiaoxue was different. Her heart was very strong because she had been lying in a hospital bed for more than 2 years. She had suffered and suffered from a painful illness. Her heart and spirit had been tempered to be extremely strong. I hope he will be fine, Su Xiaoxue said. She was still a kind-hearted girl. Soon, the news that Student Li had pooped his pants again spread throughout the campus. Pooped again? Yes, it happened this afternoon, Wang Yao said. Ah, this is really strange. People can't walk when they see a beautiful woman. Why did he pooped his pants when he saw a goddess? Who knows? Is he too excited? Do you think there is some physical defect? I haven't heard of it. I guess there is a psychological defect. Third brother, are you okay? Looking at Li Runf, who was lying in bed and staring at the ceiling in a daze, his roommates were a little worried. Although it was reasonable to not poop his pants at such a big age, it was not a big deal if it was just an upset stomach. However, if he had pooped his pants twice in less than 3 days for the same reason, it would be a big deal. Li Runf, who was lying in bed, sighed. This time, he was really smelly. Pooped his pants twice in less than 3 days. Who would do such a thing? To be honest, he now wanted to die. He sighed again. How can I meet people like this? On the way back to the dormitory from the teaching building, many people pointed at him. How long had it been? Third brother, it has already happened. You don't have to think too much about it. This matter has a little impact on your reputation. After some time, everyone will forget about it. Yes, that's right. There's nothing to be upset about. That's easy for you to say. If this happened to you, what would you think? Li Run's voice was a little hoarse, and he sounded like he was about to cry. That's true. His roommates actually sympathized with him in their hearts. No one would be able to accept such a thing in such a short time if it happened to them. Lao-san, you see, we still have classes in the afternoon. Are you still going? If you're not going, you should take leave early. Do you think I can still go to class in this condition? If he went to class now, wouldn't he be laughed at by his classmates? Okay, we'll give you some advice this afternoon. But tomorrow we can't always be like this, right? Yanjing University's schedule was very full. There were several classes a day. You don't have to ask for leave for me. I'll go in the afternoon. Li Run sat up abruptly. Third brother, are you all right? I'm fine. Well, I know a psychiatrist. I heard that he's good and reliable. Do you want me to take you to see him? Boss, I'm not sick. Really, I don't know what's wrong. After seeing them, my stomach suddenly felt uncomfortable, and it was very serious. It was the kind that couldn't be controlled. Is this a kind of stimulation? Well, it should be. Then, when you see the goddess in the future, you should avoid her. There are plenty of fish in the sea. Okay. During the afternoon class, Li Run was the focus of the students' attention. Did you see that? That's Li Run. The one who pooped his pants. Yes. When people see the goddess, they either can't walk, or their eyes shine, or have other physiological reactions. What do you think is going on with him pooping his pants? It's probably one of the physiological reactions you mentioned. It's just that his is a little strange. That's troublesome. In the future, he'll poop his pants as soon as we meet. It's simply unimaginable. These sounds were like countless flies, constantly flying around Li Run's body, buzzing, 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 buzzing. It was very noisy. His face was red, his body was trembling, and his fists were tightly clenched. Li Run, you have to bear with it. They are not one person, but a group. They are mad dogs and flies. What they say is nonsense. Lao-san, bear with it. The dormitory boss next to him gently patted him on the shoulder. "Don't worry, boss. I know what to do." "That's good." The class was a kind of torture for him. It was a very painful torture. It was not easy for him to hold on. "Let's go out and have a smoke." "Hey bro, let's get to know each other." A classmate came directly to Li Run's side and said with a smile. "No, what's there to get to know?" Li Run did not speak, but several of his roommates next to him were unhappy. What was the meaning of this? Wasn't this deliberately sprinkling salt on Wang Yao's wound? This was too much. When the classmate saw this scene, he immediately explained, "Hey, no, don't misunderstand. What do you mean?" "Well, I also like Su Xiaoxue and want to confess to her in person," the male classmate said. "I'm afraid this will happen. I just want to ask what the situation is and take precautions in advance." The male classmate was very frank. "My stomach was not feeling well at the time," Li Run said. "Really, there is no special situation. If you like her, just confess to her directly. Don't worry, there is no problem." "Really? Really, more real than real gold," Li Run said with a smile. "Ah, then I am relieved. Thank you, bro. I will treat you to a meal another day." The classmate smiled and left. "No, Lao-san, is what you just said true?" "Of course it is true. Haven't many people confessed to her in the past? I haven't seen anyone pooping their pants." "Yes. Somewhere at Yenjing University. How is it? Have you thought about it?" "Hey, no problem," Wang Yao said. "Let's do it tomorrow. I have bought the anti-diarrhea medicine." "Okay, bro, I will treat you to a special meal for a month." "Hey, I like hearing that." The next morning, in the small courtyard, Feng Jiahe and Lu Jingfeng arrived at the cottage around 8 o'clock p.m. Feng Jiahe's condition was much better than Wang Yao had expected. Her face had regained some color, and her mental state had improved a lot over the past 2 days. Judging from her pulse, it was much more stable. The child in her belly was fine for the time being. "Well, I will brew a medicine. You can come back tomorrow to get it." "Okay, thank you, Dr. Wang," Lu Jingfeng hurriedly said. "You are welcome. Are you free this afternoon? I would like to invite you to have a meal together." "No need," Wang Yao said. "I have already agreed with Xiaoxue at noon to eat at school." "Another day. We will see." When the couple left the small courtyard, their mentality had obviously changed. They were much more relaxed than the last time they came. After they left, Wang Yao went to Yenjing University to meet Su Xiaoxue. After class, the two of them walked on the road of Yenjing University hand in hand. "Su Xiaoxue, I love you." With a swoosh, a person jumped out of the bushes. "Get lost." Wang Yao kicked him back. "Ouch." A scream was heard. "Sir." "It's okay, I did it on purpose." Wang Yao smiled and patted Su Xiaoxue's hand. "What's going on? Why did you hit someone?" The person jumped out from behind the tree. There were a few pieces of grass on his head. "Sorry, I thought I met a lunatic." "Are you okay?" Wang Yao asked with a smile. "What do you mean by that?" "I was just confessing to the goddess." "Do you have to do that?" "I really didn't see it. I thought it was not a good person." "Goddess, I really, ouch. My stomach hurts so much." Before he could finish his sentence, his stomach started to grumble in pain. "No, I have to go to the bathroom." He hurriedly ran to the nearest teaching building. "No way." The people who were waiting to watch the show were dumbfounded. Poof! With a sound, a tragedy happened. The fart brought out feces and pooped in the crotch. Another one. This was a big joke. It was big news at Yenjing University. In 3 days, 2 people had confessed to the goddess, Su Xiaoxue. As a result, both of them pooped in the crotch of their pants. The university's forum was in an uproar. Chapter 833. What's going on? This goddess has the effect of relieving bowel movement. If anyone has constipation in the future, go and have a look and express your love at a close distance. The problem will be solved immediately. The person above has a foul mouth. It's their own bad luck. So many people have confessed to the goddess. How come only 2 of them pooped their pants? That's right. It's their mental state that is not good. It has nothing to do with the goddess. This goddess is really not someone that ordinary people can pursue. Isn't that right? 3 minutes of silence for those 2. Hey, what are the names of those 2? I really want to know them. The person above is trying to rub salt in their wounds. Are you looking for a beating? How can you take it that way? What kind of mentality do you guys have? Wait to be interviewed tomorrow. In the afternoon, Su Xiaoxue felt that some of her classmates were looking at her strangely. What's going on? You still don't know? Her good friend was surprised. I don't know. What's going on? You're famous now, her good friend said. Look at the school forum. Everyone is talking about you. After class, Su Xiaoxue took a look and understood why everyone was looking at her strangely. It's all Sir's fault. She pouted. See? The goddess is not happy. Wait a minute. I'll ask a buddy to delete the post. Okay, that's fine. In the end, when it was time for lunch in the morning, the post with an unusually high number of hits had magically disappeared. The matter seemed to have come to an end. Wang Yao brewed another decoction and accompanied Xiaoxue to class. This time, no one came to look for trouble. I'm going back tomorrow. How come so soon? Well, I want to tell your parents about us, Wang Yao said. Okay. Su Xiaoxue felt sweet in her heart. This was Wang Yao's initiative to formally talk about the 2 of them with her parents. Come to my house for dinner tonight. My dad is coming back. Okay. That night at the Su family's house, Su Xianghua, Song Ruiping, Su Xiaoxue, and Wang Yao. It was a heartwarming family dinner. After dinner, Wang Yao told the 2 elders about his relationship with Su Xiaoxue. He planned to have fun with Su Xiaoxue after she graduated from university. Neither Su Xianghua nor Song Ruiping had any objections. They only urged Wang Yao to take good care of little Snow, and the matter was settled just like that. After leaving the Su family's house, Wang Yao breathed a sigh of relief. In fact, he was quite nervous just now. He was afraid that Su Xiaoxue's parents would have some opinions. However, the 2 elders were very reasonable. Perhaps they thought that it was best for their daughter to be happy. After Wang Yao left, Su Xianghua and Song Ruiping returned to their room. So it's settled then? Song Ruiping asked. Well, didn't I just say that Xiaoxue likes him? And I think this Wang Yao is quite good, Su Xianghua said. All right then, Song Ruiping said. What's wrong? You don't like it? No, Song Ruiping said. In fact, deep down in her heart, she really did not like it. In the beginning, she thought that as long as her daughter liked it, it would be fine. When it came to the decision, she still hoped that her daughter could find a family of equal social status. When she thought that her daughter might marry into a mountain village thousands of miles away from her, she felt that it was not so satisfactory. You don't mean what you say. You still don't want to tell me the truth? A little bit. Do you think that if Xiaoxue really marries him in the future, she will have to follow him back to hike that small mountain village? What's wrong with a small mountain village? The air is fresh and it's natural and healthy. I'll go and have a look when I have time, Su Xianghua said. Well, I just don't think it's the case. As long as Xiaoxue is willing, I have no opinion, Song Ruiping said. It's getting late. Let's go to bed. Okay. They stayed the night. The next morning, Wang Yao took a plane directly to hike. He returned to Lianshan County near evening. When he arrived home, it was just in time for dinner. Why didn't you tell me in advance that you were coming back? I wanted to prepare a few dishes, Zhang Xiuying said. I'm not a guest. Besides, I have ready-made dishes here. Wang Yao smiled. When he went to hike, he took a suitcase with a few sets of clothes in it. This time, when he came back, Su Xiaoxue prepared a big suitcase for him, including food, necessities, and gifts for Wang Yao's parents. Roast duck. Yes, Xiaoxue bought it for me. This big suitcase of things, and there are gifts specially for you and your parents, Wang Yao said. Look at how considerate the girl is. Dad, Mom, this time I met with Xiaoxue's parents. I told them that I'm going to marry Xiaoxue. Good. What did Xiaoxue's parents say? Did they agree? They agreed. That's great. When will you get married? Well, I've discussed it with Xiaoxue. When she graduates from college, I'll marry her. It'll be 2 years. That's so long. Yes. Well, as long as you settle down, Wang Fenghua said. Now that their daughter was married, their son was their concern. Their son was quite outstanding. They felt that there should be no problem with having a daughter-in-law. The main thing was that Xiaoxue was very likable and excellent. They were afraid of losing her. Come on, let's eat. Let's eat. After eating, Wang Yao went up Nanshan Hill again. The hill was quiet. San Xian came down the hill to greet him, wagging his tail. San Xian, if I come up late in the future, you don't have to come down the hill to pick me up. Just lie in the nest. Woof, woof. What's wrong? Can't sleep? Do I have to find you a companion? Woof, woof. Xiaohe, what's wrong with it? Woof. Let's go. Wang Yao quickened his pace and followed San Xian to the top of the mountain. He was relieved when he saw the black snake shedding its skin in the grass. It's molting. It grows normally. Woof. Well, it's fine. It'll be fine tomorrow. Go back to the nest and sleep, Wang Yao said with a smile. Nothing happened that night. The next day, Xiaohe curled up in front of San Xian's nest early. It seemed to be communicating with San Xian, but its body was thicker. Well, it's grown a little. Wang Yao got up and looked at Xiaohe. The black snake was very intelligent. It slithered to Wang Yao's feet and circled twice. I'm going to practice on the hill. After that, he walked up the hill. San Xian and the black snake followed behind him and went up the hill. On the top of the hill, the autumn wind was very cold. Wang Yao was alone. He practiced a set of ancient boxing, moving back and forth. Whoosh! It was also early in the morning. Thousands of miles away in Singing Sand County, the sky was yellow. The wind was very strong that day, bringing up sand. In an ordinary house, a thin man sat in front of the window and looked at the wind and sand outside. The wind is blowing again, he exclaimed. The wind and sand that others hated had a different kind of beauty and charm in his eyes. Ring, ring, ring. The phone on the table suddenly rang. He picked it up and saw that it was an unfamiliar number. He didn't intend to answer it, but the phone kept ringing. Hello? Have you thought about it? I like to watch the wind and sand here. Well, they've come out. There was silence. The phone was hung up. What a persistent person. I don't know what crazy things he's going to do this time. Downstairs, there was a car with 2 people in it. Is he here? Yes, he's in this building. I'm sure. It's really troublesome. That's a poison master. The man lying in the back yawned. Thank you for this time. You're welcome, the man said. There's another news to tell you. Yesterday, I pulled up the surveillance around here and saw someone you won't expect. Who is it? Chairman. F***ck, really? The man in the back row sat up immediately. He's still alive. See for yourself. The man in the driver's seat threw a phone in his hand to the back. There was a photo on it. Delete it immediately after you see it. It's really him. The man in the back frowned. Chapter 834. That's right. He's still alive. What about the last time he was in Dao? The man sitting in the back seat lit a cigarette. His thoughts drifted to the night not long ago. The man had seen through life and death calmly. D***mn, I didn't expect his acting to be at the level of a movie king. Now that he thought about it, it was clear that he had seen Mr. Wang that day and knew that he was no match for him. That was why he had such an amazingly realistic performance and successfully deceived everyone. Why did he come here to find the Poison Master? To find him to come out of the mountain again. To come out of the mountain again to harm people? Brother, why did you come here to find the Poison Master? Of course, I have something to do with him, Jiazizai said. His ability is too strange. I can't have direct contact with him. Otherwise, I might not even know how I died. All right, you stay here and monitor him for me. If there are any problems, tell me in time. You must be careful. That old thing is very cunning. If you don't know anything, withdraw immediately. Got it. I'll go first. After getting out of the car, the man made a few turns. He then took a taxi and left the county. He went to the nearest airport and took a direct flight to Dao. He returned to the mountain village that night. How was it? Looking at the travel-worn Jiazizai, Humei hurriedly asked. I found him in Singing Sand County. I also found another thing. Another discovery. Zhang Wei also went there, looking for the Poison Master. Yes. Didn't Mr. Wang say that he wouldn't live for more than a month? What did he go there for? I don't know, Humei said. Maybe he wanted to ask the Poison Master to find a way to prolong his life. Can the Poison Master prolong his life? He only takes people's lives. I came back to discuss with you how to bring the Poison Master back to Mr. Wang, Jiazizai said. This matter is very difficult. Humei pondered for a moment. The Poison Master is extremely good at using poison. He can make people unknowingly fall into his trap. To deal with him, it takes a very careful plan. Moreover, there is also Zhang Wei. I don't know when he will suddenly appear. It's difficult, but it has to be done. Yes, I'll ask Zhong Luchuan tomorrow, Wang Yao said. The next morning, Jiazizai arrived at Zhong Liuchuan's door early in the morning and stopped him. Mr. Naturally has the antidote. What do you want it for? We need to deal with Poison Master. Poison Master, didn't you say that you no longer care about those things? Zhong Luchuan asked curiously. Well, I can't explain it clearly in a few words. Anyway, we have to do this, Jiazizai said. Why don't you look for Sir directly? He should be back today. Well, that's fine, thank you. At 9 o'clock in the morning, Jiazizai came to the outside of the clinic. He lingered outside for a long time but didn't go in. Since that meeting, he actually felt guilty and didn't know how to face Wang Yao again. In the end, he knocked on the door and went in. Sir. Come, sit, what's the matter? Yes, I want to ask you for some antidotes. Antidote? Who's poisoned? It's not poisoned. It's to prevent poisoning. Have you found Poison Master? Wang Yao thought for a while and guessed the reason. Yes, we have found him. Where is he? Northwest, Singing Sand County. There, wait a moment, Wang Yao said. He made an antidote with a leaf of antidote grass. He put it in a bottle and handed it to Jiazizai. Here. Sir, how much is this? Don't worry about it this time, Wang Yao said. Be careful. Oh, thank you. Jiazizai left the clinic with the antidote. He and Humei flew straight to the northwest without stopping. On the way, they made a detailed action plan. In the northwest, Singing Sand County, the wind was still very strong. The sand was flying all over the sky. He hasn't come out? He has, Humei said. According to my observations these days, he basically comes out once a day. He goes to the nearest market to buy some vegetables between 3 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon and then goes home. He only eats vegetables. I was afraid that he would find out, so I didn't dare to get too close. Let's wait until the afternoon. They waited outside the building. To be precise, they were waiting for an ambush. The wind outside was still very strong. It was already 3 o'clock in the afternoon. A thin and slightly stooped man walked out of the building with a bag in his hand. He's out. I see him. Follow the plan. Got it. Hey, why do I feel that something is wrong? The stooped man suddenly stopped. Puff, puff, puff. With a few muffled sounds, his body staggered a few times as if he had been hit by something. Then, he fell to the ground with a thud. A passerby looked at him, but no one came forward. No one even called him. No way, it's so simple. Be careful. The wind was still blowing. The man was lying on the ground. In half an hour, dozens of people had passed by him. Finally, an ambulance arrived. What should we do next? Wait. The paramedics got out of the ambulance. They carried the man on the ground into the ambulance and took him away. In the People's Hospital of Singing Sand County, is he still lying there? Lying down. Give him a shot. Wait a minute. There is a nurse next to him. With a muffled sound, a bullet pierced through the glass. The man who was lying on the bed suddenly fell to the ground and rolled under the bed. He moved. That old fox. Keep an eye on him. Let's go in, Jiazizai said. Let's go. The two of them entered the hospital. Is it this ward? Yes, it was arranged long ago. He is alone in there. Is he still in there? Yes, he is hiding on the ground, but you guys be careful. I can't see his exact location. Got it. Be careful of the police. Let's go. Okay. Creak. The door was pushed open a crack. Then, something was thrown in. Then, smoke quickly drifted out. This old man is quite patient? One person went in first. With a whoosh, the sky was full of stars. Puff, 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 puff. Someone was coughing. There was blood on the ground. Jiazizai, is it you? Xiaomei? Hey, don't call me so intimately, old man. I didn't expect you to be so insidious. Since we know each other, and Xiaomei is here, let me go. I will detoxify you, the stooped man said. Detoxify? No, we have antidotes with us. Jiazizai took out a small bottle of medicine that had been packed in advance and drank a small bottle. Are you well prepared? To deal with you, I have to be well prepared, Jiazizai said. This is the latest thing I developed. The previous antidotes didn't work. You don't have to worry about it. Come with us. Puff, puff. Jiazizai's face was a little ugly. In fact, he had just been hit by more than a dozen poisonous sand, which had sunk into his muscles. It was very painful. Who asked you to come? You will know when you see him. An hour later, the car was speeding on the road, accompanied by yellow sand all over the sky. Puff, puff. Jiazizai occasionally coughed, but there was no major problem. Who provided you with the medicine? His reaction made Poison Master very surprised. The venomous sand he used in the hospital was indeed smeared with his newly developed poison. Its power was very amazing, and the antidote was only in his hands. Logically speaking, the poison should have already taken effect, but at this time, he looked like a person who was completely fine. Did the chairman ask you to come? Him. Jiazizai lit a cigarette. No, I am afraid he can't protect himself now. You don't have to think about it. You will know when you see him. In Singing Sand County, the wind and sand were still very strong. A middle-aged man, bald, holding a baseball cap in his hand, entered the Poison Master's house. Looking at the empty room, he whispered to himself, "Gone? I am old after all. Xiaomei, why did you catch me?" The Poison Master asked Hu Mei. You have done too many bad things. We are enforcing justice on behalf of heaven, Jiazizai said with a cigarette in his mouth. Enforcing justice on behalf of heaven? Ah. The Poison Master laughed after listening. Jiazizai, don't be a pot calling the kettle black. I have done a lot of bad things, but what you have done is not much less than me, right? I don't want you to have no bottom line, Jiazizai said. In order to test the poison, you directly poisoned a village to death. Oh, what a nice way to put it. In order to kill a person, you directly blew up a bus. There were also old and weak women and children on it. Shut the F***ck up. At the mention of this matter, Jia Zizai's face was ferocious. He turned around and directly stabbed the poison master's thigh with a knife. TSK, TSK, TSK. Did I hit a sore spot? That was done by that madman, not me, Jia Zizai said. TSK, you are also an accomplice. Don't make yourself sound so noble. The car sped on the road, traveling day and night. A day later, they arrived at the mountain village. Jia Zizai and Hu Mei were both travel-worn. As soon as they returned to the village, Jia Zizai went to Wang Yao's clinic. Sir, I have brought him. Are you injured? Wang Yao glanced at him and asked. It's just a minor injury, Hu Mei said. He won't die. Thanks to your medicine, we really couldn't have defeated him. Let's go. Let's meet this poison master. In an idle house in the mountain village, the poison master looked at Zhong Luchuan in surprise. Zhong Luchuan, you are here too? Long time no see, poison master. You are still alive? Zhong Luchuan's face was full of disgust. Chapter 835. Haha, since you are all alive and well, I naturally have to live, the poisoner said. What is this place? Vile Valley? We are different from you, Zhong Luchuan said. How are we different? The poisoner asked. Whether it's one person or 100 people, you are all murderers and deserve to die. I deserve to die, and so do you, the poisoner said. What kind of theory is that? Hu Mei asked. Xiao Mei, I really didn't expect this time, the poisoner said. It was actually you who joined forces with them to kill me. That time, if it weren't for me, you would have been finished. That time, if it weren't for you, how could I have been ambushed? Zhong Luchuan asked. Do you think I don't know? You just used me as bait and rescued me after the mission was completed. Do you still want to pretend to be a savior? While they were talking, the door opened. Jia Zizai and Wang Yao walked in from outside. Wang Yao was looking at the poisoner, and the poisoner was also looking at him. He had a strange disease, and his body was extremely wet. He had been poisoned and had less than half of his life left. He was a person who would not live for long. What a strange young man. The poisoner was also looking at Wang Yao, but the other party gave him a very uncomfortable feeling. They were definitely not the same kind of people. They were the opposite kind of people, just like fire and water, light and darkness. This was the special feeling that Wang Yao gave him. His gaze was so calm that it made people feel very uncomfortable. Who are you? The poisoner asked first. It doesn't matter who I am, Wang Yao said. What matters is what you have done. What? You have made a strange poison, Zhong Luchuan said. After being poisoned, the internal organs will burn, and the body will fester. It will be better to die than to live, right? Ah, I remember now. It's not a burning hut. At the mention of this poison, the poison master's eyes began to shine. That is the poison I made 3 years ago, Zhong Luchuan said. I have tested it several times. By the way, one of them was with you, right? I remember that I killed a total of 16 people. Yes, with me, Hu Mei said. There were several innocent people among them. What do you mean by innocent? No one is innocent in this world. Poison Master said, they can be crushed to death by falling things when they walk, and they can choke to death when they drink water. They deserve to die from my poison. Your logic is very strange, Wang Yao said coldly after listening to him. I know. Your family members or friends must have been poisoned and died. Then you paid them a lot of money to catch me as a reward, right? Poison Master immediately guessed the reason. Yes, Poison Master immediately guessed the reason. More or less. My family member was indeed hurt, but she didn't die. Instead, she suffered for 2 years. She was in so much pain that she wished she was dead, Wang Yao said. Still alive? That's impossible. Poison Master was shocked. That kind of poison is extremely potent. Until now, I still haven't concocted a suitable antidote. How can the poisoned person still be alive? Why not? I'm fine even after being poisoned by you, Jiao Zizai said with a cigarette in his mouth. Did you find someone from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine or the King Pharmacist of Miaojiang? What Valley of Thousands of Medicine? What Miaojiang's King Pharmacist? Wang Yao didn't speak. He had heard of this place and this person. He didn't expect Poison Master to have heard of them as well. He even seemed familiar. Who else could it be? What do you think? Jiao Zizai said with a smile. Well, since you have admitted that it was you who did it, you naturally have to accept punishment, Wang Yao said coldly. Punishment? Okay, what punishment? Poison Master looked like a dead pig that was not afraid of boiling water. He didn't think that there would be any serious consequences if he fell into the hands of these people. Be careful, sir, Jiao Zizai said. He is a madman, an out-and-out madman. Sir, it's rare for you to call him that. Seeing how respectful you are, it seems that this young man's ability is not ordinary. My ability has nothing to do with you. Think about yourself. As Wang Yao spoke, he was thinking about how to punish this unrepentant person who had done all kinds of evil. How many people has he killed? This can't be counted. Just from what I know, there are hundreds of people, Jiao Zizai said. So many? After hearing the number, Wang Yao was very surprised. He once destroyed a village in order to test the poison, Jiao Zizai said. The men, women, children, and even livestock in that village were all poisoned to death. There were more than 100 people in that village alone. Wang Yao was stunned when he heard that. Then he should be cut into pieces. Haha, I am the evil person, Poison Master said. I should be put to death by 1,000 cuts. You are all good people, great good people. Ask yourselves, whose hands are not stained with blood? We are different from you. You are a madman. Ha ha ha. Poof. Poison Master suddenly opened his mouth and spat out blood everywhere. Be careful. Wang Yao pressed the void. The blood that sprayed out was all blocked by an invisible barrier. Not a single drop fell on the people. Sir, be careful, Jiao Zizai said. His blood is poisonous. Drip. A drop of blood fell on the ground and immediately turned black. The blood exuded a unique fishy smell. He is a poisonous person, Wang Yao said. His whole body is poisonous. How can this be? Poison Master was stunned. He watched the blood that was spat out from his mouth hang in the invisible air and then slowly fall to the ground. What kind of ability is this? Poof! Poof! Wang Yao punched and slapped in the void, all of which landed on Poison Master's body. Then, several silver needles appeared in the void and pierced dozens of places on Poison Master's body. After all this, Wang Yao said, Okay, everyone go do your own things. That's it? Jiao Zizai was stunned. Yes, in the next 3 days, he will live a life worse than death. And then? There is no then, Wang Yao said coldly. Then, of course, he would die in pain and despair. Then, everyone left. Only Poison Master was left in the empty room. There was no restraint, no tie, and no lock. That's it? Poison Master was slightly stunned. He wanted to move, but he found that his body was soft and had no strength at all. He couldn't even stand up. It was as if all the bones in his body had been pulled out. What's going on? Then, he felt pain from his limbs and bones. The pain from all parts of his body was like being cut into pieces. This kind of pain came from the inside out, one after another. It was endless like a tide. Poison Master wanted to cry out in pain, but he found that his throat seemed to be blocked by something. He couldn't make any sound. What's going on? For the first time, fear appeared on his face. In this way, he was in pain, fear, and struggle. It was only a mental struggle because he didn't have any strength physically. He couldn't even shout. The time passed very slowly. Tell me about him, Wang Yao said. After coming out of the yard, Wang Yao called Zhong Luchuan to his clinic to ask about Poison Master. Zhong Luchuan told him everything he knew. So, he is a complete evil person? The kind that is heinous, Zhong Luchuan said. But, he is right. Our hands are not clean. They are also covered with blood. At least you have changed your ways, Wang Yao said. He still has no intention of repentance. What he did was to poison the old, the weak, women, and children. There is no bottom line. In our line of work, there is no bottom line, Zhong Luchuan said. Have you killed children? No, I have killed women, but the other party was also an assassin. Zhong Luchuan shook his head. That's it for now, Wang Yao said. Okay, I'll go back first. Okay. In the mountain village, Jia Zizai and Hu Mei were in their new home. I'm so tired. Jia Zizai was moving his body. His abdomen was wrapped in bandages. Fortunately, we prepared well in advance this time. It will be troublesome to be responsible for Mr. Yu's medicine. Hu Mei did not speak. She was just lost in thought. What are you thinking about? Poison Master. Thinking about him? Thinking about the people he has harmed, Hu Mei said softly. In fact, I have carried out missions with him more than once. It can be said that I have helped him do evil more than once. Her tone was a little sad and lost. Well, don't think about the past anymore. Jia Zizai gently patted her shoulder. What do you want to eat tonight? I'll cook and try my cooking. How about a bowl of noodles? Okay, no problem. Shredded meat noodles or seafood noodles, Hu Mei said. Do you want me to buy some seafood now? No, just ordinary shredded meat noodles will do, Hu Mei said with a smile. She also knew that Jia Zizai was making her happy. By the way, smile, and this matter will be over, Jia Zizai said. We have also given Mr. Yu an explanation. Thousands of miles away in Singing Sand County, a man wearing a baseball cap was sitting on the sofa in Poison Master's home. He had been there for a day. Ran away. He took out his hand and made a call. The call went through, but the person who answered the phone was a police officer. What? He was kidnapped? Yes, who are you to him? Friend, can I ask how he was kidnapped? The police officer on the other end of the phone roughly explained the situation and then hung up. Who was it? The middle-aged man lowered his head and pondered. If it was an enemy, just kill him directly. Why kidnap him? He thought for a long time but could not figure out who did it. The key was that Poison Master had too many enemies. The sky gradually darkened. In the house in the mountain village, Poison Master fell to the ground in pain. His clothes were soaked with sweat. Chapter 836. He spent the night in pain. The pain was all over his body. It was a pain that was worse than death. He wanted to die. He wanted to kill himself by biting his tongue, but he found that he didn't even have the strength to open his mouth. He could only lie on the ground and breathe. The feeling of wanting to die but not being able to do so was not good. That night, Wang Yao called Su Xiaoxue and told her that he had found the murderer. Su Xiaoxue was silent for a while. What are you going to do with him? Su Xiaoxue asked. He won't live for long, Wang Yao said. No. Su Xiaoxue hurriedly said. I don't want you to kill people because of me. It's against the law. He doesn't have long to live. Wang Yao said. He is seriously ill and often in contact with poison. A lot of poison has accumulated in his body, which has destroyed his body. Oh, that's good. Su Xiaoxue breathed a sigh of relief. You are too kind, Wang Yao said with a smile. Did anyone make trouble for you at school? No, I'm fine here, Su Xiaoxue said. That's good. The weather is cold. Wear more clothes and take care of your body. Okay. The two of them chatted for a while before hanging up. The night was long. For some people, it was painful and long. It was like a year. When a ray of sunlight shone into the room in the morning, the man lying on the ground squinted his eyes. I'm still alive. Why am I still alive? He wanted to shout, question, and curse, but he had no strength. He didn't even have the strength to die. He just lay there. The pain was still tormenting him. In the clinic, 3 people came. They were a couple and a young man in a Taoist robe. "Hello, Dr. Wang," Wang Yao said. "Sorry to bother you again. What about my son's illness?" "Ah, I remember. Does he want to cultivate to become an immortal?" Wang Yao said. This time, the young man's face was a lot worse. "What's going on?" Wang Yao asked. "Ah, he made elixirs at home and ate too. He went to the hospital to have his stomach pumped," the young man's father said. "Oh! Hey Dad, you're ruining my big plan. Haven't you heard that when a man achieves the Tao, his chickens and dogs will also ascend to heaven? If I achieve the Tao and become an immortal, how can I look down on you?" The young man sighed and shook his head. Forget it. I think this is also a disaster." His illness is getting worse," Wang Yao said to himself. "Let me try," Wang Yao said. As he said this, he took out a few silver needles from the needle bag and approached the young man. "What are you doing?" The young man's expression changed drastically. "Calm down and don't panic," Wang Yao said. The man wanted to get up and resist, but he felt that his body was not listening to him. It was as if he was tied up by something. He could only watch the doctor opposite him take a silver needle and insert it into his head. He felt a slight pain, and then his body unconsciously trembled. When he opened his eyes, he had a very strange feeling. It was as if his mind had been emptied in an instant. Useful? The needle was inserted into a unique acupoint, which affected people's memory and thinking. The invisible binding disappeared. The young man felt that he had regained control of his body. "What did you just do to me? How do you feel?" "My soul is out of my body," the young man said after thinking for a moment. "Yes." While the young man was talking, Wang Yao had been observing him. "Are you also a cultivator? You're always talking about your dreams." "I'm a pharmacist. I treat diseases and save people." "I'm not sick," the young man said. "I'm cultivating." "Is cultivating a disease?" "Well, in fact, I think you're on the wrong path," Wang Yao said. "Wrong path? What's wrong?" "You're cultivating? Let me ask you, where is the holy land of cultivation?" "Wudong Mountain, Sanqing Mountain, and Dragon Tiger Mountain." The young man named these places. "Have you been to all of them?" "Yes, I have been to Wudong Mountain," the young man said. "Have you found a cultivator?" "They're all people with undeserved reputation," the young man said. "So, you haven't found a senior or a like-minded person. The great path is to be walked alone," the young man said confidently. "Aren't you afraid that you'll take the wrong path and fall into a ravine?" "Since I've embarked on this path, I'm naturally not afraid," the young man said. "What do you want to talk to me about?" "Go to other places to have a look, such as Sanqing Mountain and Dragon Tiger Mountain," Wang Yao said. "Maybe you'll meet some experts who can give you some guidance on your cultivation." The young man was stunned. His parents were also stunned. "Well, okay." After coming back to his senses, the young man nodded, indicating that he accepted Wang Yao's suggestion. "Accompany him to the car first. I'll talk to Dr. Wang for a while," the young man's father said to his wife. "Okay. Dr. Wang, what do you mean by this?" After the mother and son left, the man hurriedly asked. He had originally brought his son to see a doctor, but Dr. Wang in front of him suggested that his son go to Sanqing Mountain and Dragon Tiger Mountain after giving him an injection. Not only did he not stop his son, but he also encouraged him to cultivate. "Don't worry, please sit down. Let's talk about your son's condition," Wang Yao said. "First of all, your son doesn't have any obvious organic lesions in his body. His illness is purely a hallucination, a very serious hallucination. It's what we usually call a mental illness. You should know this." "Yes, I know." The man nodded. Then, let's talk about my treatment plan. The first is to use external guidance to make him realize that his previous persistence is wrong, so he will give up his persistence. Guidance? How do I guide him? This is the reason why I asked him to go to Sanqing Mountain and Dragon Tiger Mountain, Wang Yao said. If he wants to go, you can slightly stop him. Then, find a way to meet some really capable cultivators on those two mountains. Ask them to cooperate with you to enlighten your son and change his mind. Will this work? The man was a little doubtful. Let's give it a try, Wang Yao said. To be honest, I don't think the success rate of this method is particularly high, but it might be able to change his mind. Well, okay, I'll do that, the man said. Is there any other way? Yes, this method has a certain risk, Wang Yao said. I'll make him lose his memory first. Lose his memory? The man was stunned. What do you mean? It means to empty his mind and make him forget the past, Wang Yao said. Wang Yao said, the memories of the past have been cleared, so naturally, the things that he once insisted on will also be cleared. In that case, will he also forget us? Yes, Wang Yao said. Do you mean that the son I've raised for more than 20 years doesn't recognize me? Yes, you need to start from the beginning and establish his memory, or in other words, evoke his memories, Wang Yao said. But you have to avoid the prompts of cultivation. Haha, what kind of treatment is this? My son doesn't even recognize me. The man laughed after hearing this. In that case, I'd rather he continue to imagine things like this, Wang Yao said. Is there any other way? Wang Yao smiled. He had guessed that the man might say that. There is a third way. What is it? I'll make him have a dream, Wang Yao said. Through external guidance, his dream will become empty. You should have heard of the story of a golden millet dream, right? That works. The middle-aged man was stunned. In theory, it's possible, Wang Yao said. It's similar to hypnosis. Have you seen the famous movie Inception? Yes. In theory, it's similar to him, but it's not that mysterious. Wang Yao actually borrowed this treatment method from the book Treatise on Miscellaneous Diseases. It was a treatment method similar to psychological suggestion, which he had never tried. That's safer, Wang Yao said. Haha, not necessarily, Wang Yao said. Maybe he'd rather be silent in his dream and never want to wake up again. Is there any other way? For the time being, I can only think of these three methods, Wang Yao said. Chapter 837. The man was silent for a long time until his wife called. Let's try the first method first. Sure, let me know if you want to go to Longhu Mountain. I can introduce you to someone. A Taoist cultivator. Yes. Thank you so much. Here's the fee. Wang Yao asked for a small fee. He was very interested in the young man's illness. To be honest, he thought the possibility of the first method was almost zero. It might only shake his determination to cultivate. The second and third methods were more suitable. However, there was a certain risk. The young man's parents were not willing to try them. In the small courtyard in the mountain village, Jia Zizai looked at the poison master lying on the ground with a cigarette in his mouth. To be honest, I'm a little gloating. He blew out a smoke ring. Are you so weak that you don't even have the strength to open your mouth and curse? I've had the same feeling before, Jia Zizai said. Mr. Wang seems to be a mountain hermit who stands aloof from worldly affairs. If you really annoy him, I guess you can only escape to a corner abroad. Otherwise, you will end up like this. Jia Zizai squatted on the ground and talked to himself. Mr. Wang said you can live for 3 days. No, it's 2 days. Enjoy your last time. After saying these words, he got up and left. There are still 2 days. I don't want to live for a moment. I'd rather die now. The poison master, who was lying on the ground, thought. He wanted to die but couldn't. It was a great sorrow, but there was nothing he could do. Thousands of miles away, on Sanqing Mountain, an old Taoist in his 60s looked at the young man standing in front of him in surprise. He was very surprised because there was actually someone who wanted to become an immortal in this era. This was not a realistic idea. He wanted to persuade this young man, but he found that this young man was extremely stubborn. Moreover, he even wanted to discuss the Tao with him. What a joke! He had been cultivating on this mountain for decades. A young man who looked like he was in his 20s actually wanted to discuss the Tao with him. Then he would let this young man know the immensity of heaven and earth. Therefore, the old man and the young man discussed the Tao halfway up the mountain under the forest. The result surprised the old man. This young man not only read the Tao scriptures, but also had a good understanding of the Tao. He was very familiar with it and spoke clearly and logically. In the end, he didn't win, and the young man didn't win either. The two of them fought to a draw. Young man, you are very knowledgeable. I admit that. But you are too stubborn. It is better to not have books than to believe in books. Many of the things you learn have been tested and proven to be wrong, said the old priest. You are quite knowledgeable, the young man said. You are different from those Taoists. Isn't the purpose of cultivation to become an immortal? You are wrong, young man. Cultivating the Tao requires cultivating the mind. You are too obsessed with becoming an immortal. Instead, you are at a disadvantage. What do you mean by superior and inferior? Let me ask you, then, why are you cultivating in this deep mountain? In the beginning, it was to escape, the old man said. It was to make a living. I didn't have any profound thoughts at all. Later, I gradually liked it. On this mountain, my heart and body are at peace. I am carefree, so I cultivated the Tao. So, your motives were not pure at the beginning. Indeed. The young man was stunned. He didn't expect the old Taoist to be so honest. His eyes were very calm. This state of mind was indeed impressive. I still want to cultivate immortality. As you wish, the old Taoist said with a smile. He saw that the young man in front of him was so stubborn, so he didn't say anything more. Is there an old Taoist who is more profound than you on this mountain? Yes, you can walk around. Maybe you will meet him. Okay. The young man continued to go up the mountain with a determined look. He has fallen into the devil's path. The old man looked at the back of the skinny young man and sighed. In today's society, science and technology were so advanced. Why would anyone still think of such unrealistic things? The young man walked around Sanqing Mountain and met several Taoist priests, but he was very disappointed. These people were just fake Taoists wearing Taoist robes. They were not cultivators at all. Go down the mountain? It was late. He stayed in a Taoist temple on the mountain for the night. The waning moon was like a hook, and the mountain was empty. In the courtyard of the Taoist temple, he met an old Taoist priest. He was a little slovenly and sloppy. He couldn't sleep, so he chatted with the old Taoist priest. As they chatted, he was surprised. The old Taoist priest's words made him feel like he had suddenly realized something. Is this a cultivator? He was very shocked and very happy. It was too difficult to cultivate immortality alone. He finally found a fellow cultivator. That night, he couldn't sleep for a long time. The old Taoist priest's words made him happy, worried, and suspicious. His idea of immortal cultivation was shaken again. Between heaven and earth, what is an immortal? The next day, the morning light was gentle. He got up early to inquire about the old Taoist priest's whereabouts, but no one in the Taoist temple knew. Uncle cultivates on this mountain all day. I don't know where he is. Mount Sanqing was a vast and continuous place. How difficult would it be to find a single person on this mountain? Forget it. He went down the mountain, feeling a little lost. I'll go to Longhu Mountain again. In the Taoist Holy Land, Taoist Ancestral Court. Thousands of miles away, in Lianshan County. Zheng Weijun came to the mountain village to visit Wang Yao. Sir, the theme building of Nanshan Pharmaceutical has been completed, and the pharmaceutical equipment is also being installed. It is estimated that it will be operational in another month. Good. Wang Yao replied. Are you free today? Let's go have a look. Okay, is the afternoon suitable? Yes, Jing Weijun hurriedly replied. In the morning, 2 people had called to say that they wanted to see a doctor, but they hadn't arrived yet. Wang Yao waited there. Jing Weijun said a few words. When he saw someone enter the clinic, he took the initiative to leave. In the morning, the 2 patients didn't have any major problems. At noon, Wang Yao specially invited Jing Weijun to have lunch with him at a restaurant in the village. Then, the 2 of them went to Nanshan Pharmaceutical in town. The walls of the courtyard had been surrounded. The theme building had been built. The main ground inside had been hardened. There were also 2 large trucks loaded with shiny pharmaceutical equipment. These are the most advanced pharmaceutical equipment in the country, Jing Weijun said. Yes, Jing Weijun said. The 2 of them walked around the newly built factory area. After walking to a corner in the northwest, Wang Yao pointed at the open space. That place needs to be changed. How do you change it? Put a piece of your hand in this position. Wang Yao walked to a place. With a little force from his feet, the ground that had not hardened collapsed. Jing Weijun hurriedly gestured to the casual person next to him. After a short while, the person in charge of the construction there immediately trotted over. Sir, what kind of stone is suitable? Well, the nearby mountain rocks will do. The width and height can't be less than 2 meters. About 3 meters is most suitable. I heard you. Find a better one, Jing Weijun said to the person in charge. Okay, Chief Jing. After the matter was arranged, Jing Weijun asked curiously, Sir, is there a problem here? There is something wrong with the aura here, Wang Yao said. When he stood in the position just now, he felt a slightly cold aura blowing from the southwest position. It was uncomfortable, so he thought of setting a stone there to go out. Aura? Sir, are you proficient in feng shui? Well, it's just a feeling, Wang Yao said with a smile. The so-called feng shui was actually the aura between heaven and earth. The 2 of them walked around the factory and finally looked at the equipment that had been installed. A professional engineer next to them introduced the equipment to the 2 of them. This will cost a lot of money, right? Well, good things naturally have a good price, Jing Weijun said. If we want to use it here, we will use the best. He had now given up the struggle for power in his family. He had taken the initiative to give up the voice of several cities in the south and the shares of the factory. He only had one request, which was that the shares belonging to the Jing family in the pharmaceutical company all belonged to him alone. The family had already agreed. Now, Wang Yao was the largest shareholder of the pharmaceutical company. The second was him. He also had the management power here. This was something that had been decided when the pharmaceutical company was established. Sir, I plan to live here for a long time in the future, Jing Weijun said. Jing Weijun said. He had basically given up on his family's businesses, so the focus naturally had to be shifted to this place. Okay, welcome. By the way, I want to buy 2 houses in the mountain village. Yes, there are a lot of restricted houses there. That afternoon, the son of the Jing family found Wang Jianli and bought 2 houses next to each other. He then contacted the relevant personnel to renovate and build. That night, Wang Ziqing came to Wang Yao's house with things. What's the matter? I want to ask, when will the pharmaceutical factory in town start to work? Wang Ziqing asked with a smile. Why, do you want to work there? Yes, Wang Ziqing said. He had seen Wang Yao and Jing Weijun in town in the afternoon, so he had come over to ask about them later in the evening. I'll tell you when the time comes. Oh, thank you so much then. After sitting down and chatting for a while, Wang Ziqing got up and left. Wait, just come and sit. Take these things back, Wang Yao said. Don't spend this money in the future. How can I do that? I said take it back, so take it back. I'll keep the fruit. I also have a box of tea. Take it back and let my uncle taste it. In the end, Wang Ziqing did not refuse Wang Yao. When he left, he was carrying a box of tea in his hand. It was the kind that looked expensive at first glance. Chapter 838. Why did you bring it all back? Didn't he agree? Back home, Wang Ziqing's wife was surprised to see her husband bring back all the things he had taken out. He agreed, but he didn't bring any of these things. He just left some fruit, Wang Ziqing said. Well, he also gave me a box of tea. Look at you, his wife scolded. We asked him to do something for us, but you didn't give him the gift. Why did you take things from him? I didn't want it, but I couldn't persuade him, Wang Ziqing said. He was also afraid that Wang Yao would be unhappy. Forget it, Wang Ziqing said. Anyway, it's all back. The more Wang Ziqing thought about it, the more uncomfortable he felt. The next day, the builders contacted by Zheng Weijun came to the mountain village and carefully measured the 2 houses he had bought. They then left to think about the renovation plan and draw out the drawings to carry out the renovation. These rich people really can't figure it out. Yes, they spent so much money to come to such a small mountain village, but the air here is really good. It's their business to be rich and willful, Zheng Weijun said. Our business is to do this plan well and earn money. Also, don't talk about it. He is our financial backer. Got it, boss. In the morning, Wang Yao treated 2 or 3 patients who all had minor ailments. He cured all of them on the spot. Oh, Dr. Wang, your medical skills are really amazing. You flatter me. The woman in her 50s came in with a limp and walked out normally. After leaving the clinic, she said to her son, who had accompanied her, "Look, I told you he was really capable. You didn't believe me." Yes, I looked down on him, the young man who had accompanied her said. As long as you are well, it's fine. This time, he really looked down on him. He didn't expect the young man, who was about the same age as him, to be so capable. It seemed that it was just a simple massage followed by a few needles. His mother's leg pain was cured. Wait until tomorrow. Bring your father to have a look, Wang Ziqing said. Doesn't he always have headaches? I heard that Dr. Wang's headaches are quite bad. Ah, got it. I'll come tomorrow, the young man said. After lunch, Wang Yao went to Nanshan Hill. There were hundreds of kinds of herbs growing very well in the herbal field. He came to a stalk of spirit grass and bent down. Purple-backed dragon fang. Its leaves were like dragon fangs and its back was light purple. This was a middle-grade spirit herb. It had a special effect of nourishing the spirit and calming the fetus. Feng Jia, who was still in the capital, needed this kind of spiritual grass very much. Let it grow for a while? Wang Yao smiled as he looked at the leaves that could only be considered young. Before leaving the capital, the 2 doses of medicine should be able to keep her child safe for a short period of time. He was not in a hurry to go down the mountain. Instead, he meditated for a while on Nanshan Hill. At around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, a car arrived at the foot of the mountain. 3 people got out of the car, 2 men and 1 woman. The 2 men looked to be in their 40s. The woman was slightly younger, but her complexion was extremely poor. Is it here? Yes, it's here. This is the clinic, the woman said. These people were from other places. They had heard that Wang Yao's medical skills were very good, so they had come to see him. I'll go and have a look. A man came to the door of the clinic, but found that the door was locked. He's not here. Could it be that he went out today? Wait, let me see. He turned on his phone and found Wang Yao's Weibo. No, he didn't go out today. He's in this village. Let's wait. Okay, let's wait in the car. It's cold outside. At this time, the weather had become cold after the cold dew. After waiting for about half an hour, they saw a man approaching from the mountain road. He came to the door of the clinic and opened it. He's here. The three people got out of the car and entered the clinic. He's so young. Hello, are you Dr. Wang? Yes, I am. Are you here to see a doctor? Yes, please take a look at her. The man pointed to the woman next to him. The woman's complexion was very poor. It was a kind of waxy yellow. Her eyes were listless, her hair was dry, and her breathing was very weak. She gave people the feeling that the leaves on the tree outside had been withered and could fall down at any time. What are the symptoms? She's weak all over, can't sleep at night, and is very thirsty. She likes to drink water very much, but the more she drinks, the more thirsty she gets. Let me have a look. Wang Yao carefully checked the woman and found that her condition was very strange. It was a serious imbalance of yin and yang in her body. The yang was very strong, but the yin was not enough, which led to a series of problems. I can treat this, Wang Yao said. Balancing yin and yang was easy to say but difficult to do. However, it was different. He had medicine that specialized in nourishing yin. The moonlight grass was a good product for nourishing yin and calming the nerve. He also had other medicinal herbs to choose from. Really? Of course, but the treatment is very expensive. Think about it carefully. There's no need to think about it. We'll treat it, the man said. Okay, wait a moment. Wang Yao got up and went to the room next door. I think we should think about it again. He's so young. How capable can he be? There's no need to think about it. We came all the way here. I trust Lao Chin. Let's give it a try. Okay, I'll listen to you. Let's give it a try. Nourish yin, replenish water, and calm the nerves. Moonlight grass, glossy Ganoderma, a little frost. Wang Yao put these medicinal herbs into the medicine pot at once to prepare a medicine. After a little cooling, he put it into a porcelain bottle. Then, he went to the room next door. Okay, let's see how it works first. He poured a cup and handed it to the woman. The woman drank a bowl. The medicine was warm in her stomach. After a while, the dry and thirsty feeling in her body seemed to be reduced. Her head was not so swollen. How is it, Xiao Rui? Well, I feel a little better. Okay, how much is this medicine? 100,000, how much? The two men were stunned. They guessed that the medicine was not cheap, but they did not expect it to be so expensive. What kind of medicine was so expensive? It was more expensive than gold and diamond. This young man was really bold. He was asking for too much. 100,000. Well, can it be cheaper? It's a fixed price. It's not cheap. Wang Yao shook his head calmly. Let's go, the woman said weakly. She felt that it was too expensive. How could there be such an expensive medicine in the world? This young man was clearly treating them as fools. Xiao Rui, wait a moment. Doctor, what if this medicine doesn't work? I'll be here. The clinic is also here. Okay, I'll take it. The man gritted his teeth and took out his phone to transfer the money to Wang Yao. Brother. The woman reached out to stop him. Xiao Rui, let's give it a try. Listen to your brother. After taking the medicine for 7 days, see the effect and come back for a follow-up visit, Wang Yao said. Her illness is caused by the imbalance of yin and yang in her body. There is insufficient yin qi. She should eat more food that nourishes yin. Wang Yao advised. As the saying goes, a tonic is not as good as a tonic. Okay, we got it. The three men took the medicine and left the clinic. As soon as they left the clinic, the oldest man said to the younger man, You're crazy. 100,000 yuan for a dose of medicine. Are you stupid? Chapter 839. Didn't Xiao Rui just say that it works? The man asked. It works? Maybe it's just temporary, or maybe it's an illusion. Think about it. What kind of medicine is worth 100,000 yuan? Gleevec, which treats cancer, is very expensive, the man said. Don't argue with me. It's purely an imported medicine. It can't be produced in China. It's precious when it's rare. The older man was a little angry. Let's go back and get the money back. We can't be cheated by him so easily. The woman stood aside and watched the two men arguing. Her expression was very bitter. In fact, she felt that the medicine was effective. She had already felt it in such a short time, which showed that the efficacy of the medicine was very magical. Other things might lie, but her body wouldn't lie to her. Isn't his clinic here? Let's go back and try it first. If it doesn't work, we'll come back to him. The monk can run away, but the temple can't. If we come back to him, if it doesn't work, who will admit it? He doesn't even have an invoice for the medicine. No one will believe it. Besides, we are all foreigners in other people's territory. How can this be easy to deal with? Aren't you a very shrewd master in business? Why are you so confused here? Enough, I'm willing to pay for it. Even if it doesn't work, I'll accept it. The younger man couldn't help but shout. How about we refund the medicine? The woman who hadn't spoken said weakly. Look, Xiaorui thinks so too. The woman now felt that her body had an obvious reaction of improvement, but the price of the medicine was too expensive. She didn't think it was worth it. Taking a step back, what if it was only temporary and couldn't cure her disease? Wouldn't the 100,000 yuan be wasted? That was why she said that. Besides, although her disease was uncomfortable, she always felt that her life was not in danger for the time being. Xiaorui, tell me the truth, the man said. Is it useful? I feel better than when I came, the woman said. It's good that it works. Let's go back. No, let's find a place to stay for 3 days and come back after we finish the medicine. Should we refund it? The woman asked. No, let's go. Humph, if you don't listen to me, you'll regret it sooner or later, the older man said. He definitely won't regret it. A man with a cigarette in his mouth walked past them and said with a smile, Who are you? The older man turned his head, looked at him, and then said very unhappily. He was holding back his anger now. The two people in front of him had a special relationship with him, so he didn't get angry. But this person suddenly appeared. What was going on? Who do you think you are? Hee, what do you mean by that look in your eyes? The older man frowned slightly, feeling that the other party was looking at him as if he was looking at an idiot. It's nothing. It's just what you understand. Jia Zizai held a cigarette in his mouth and walked unsteadily toward Dongshan Mountain, leaving the three baffled people behind. Crazy! People nowadays really don't understand. Jia Zizai whispered as he walked. They'd rather spend money to buy gold chains, sell their kidneys to buy mobile phones, or borrow money to buy luxury goods, but they're not willing to exchange more money to maintain their health. TSK. They don't care about their health. The other three people drove away from the mountain village, but they didn't go far. They went to Lianshan County and found a hotel to stay. Are we really going to stay here? Yes, we'll stay at least until the bottle of medicine is finished. We'll see how effective it is before we leave, the younger man said. Yes, if it's not effective, we'll have to find him. In the mountain village, Jia Zizai walked on the mountain path with a cigarette in his mouth. Most of the cultivated land on both sides of the path had been abandoned. Most of the people in the village had gone to the city, and the houses in the village had been transferred to others. In the end, the land had also been subcontracted out. Now, most of the land in the mountain village belonged to Wang Yao, but he was too busy to do it alone. He had planted trees wherever he could. Although it was already autumn, most of the trees in the mountain were still green, especially the closer to Nanshan Hill, the more verdant it was. It was as if it was summer. TSK. Oh, the environment is really good. Where is this? He walked along the mountain road to Dongshan Mountain and went south. After walking for a while, he saw a man sitting at the border between Dongshan Mountain and Nanshan Hill. Found him. He slowly walked to the front of the man. "Senior, are you practicing?" Zhong Luchuan breathed a sigh of relief. He opened his eyes and looked at the smiling Jia Zizai. "Don't smoke in the mountain," Zhong Luchuan said. "Ah, okay." Jia Zizai hurriedly put out the cigarette and put the butt in his pocket. "This place is really good," Zhong Luchuan said. "No wonder you're willing to come here every day." "I'm not your senior," Zhong Luchuan said as he got up. "Why are you looking for me?" "Nothing," Zhong Luchuan said. "I'm just looking around." "Well, you can't go up Nanshan Hill," Zhong Luchuan said. "Okay." The small mountain village had a lot of rules. They couldn't go up Nanshan Hill because it was where Wang Yao grew herbs and practiced. They couldn't go to the north of Shishan Hill because there was a dead land there. So, they could only come to Dongshan Hill. As for the north mountain of the mountain village, more than 90% of it was rock, which was quite unique. When they had nothing to do, they could go up and play. "How is Sir's mood these days?" "Not bad," Zhong Luchuan said. Every morning and evening, Wang Yao came back to the mountain to practice with Zhong Luchuan. Jia Zizai knew that, so he went up the mountain to ask Zhong Luchuan. "I don't know if Sir is still angry about that matter." "I don't think so," Zhong Luchuan said. "After all, the poison master has been brought here. Is he still alive?" "Alive," Jia Zizai said with a sigh. "He wants to die, but he can't. It's sad to think about it." "He has done a lot of evil," Zhong Luchuan said. "He deserves such punishment." "What about us?" Zhong Luchuan asked. "We'll turn over a new leaf," Zhong Luchuan calmly said. Jia Zizai lay on the grass and stretched. The sky is so blue. Looking up at the autumn sky, it was particularly blue and refreshing. It made people feel better. "Can I ask you to do me a favor?" "Go ahead." "Put in a good word for me in front of Sir," Jia Zizai said. Zhong Luchuan did not speak. He just looked at the sky quietly. After a while, he said, "Actually, Sir knows what to do." "In fact, I really want to practice with Sir," Jia Zizai said. "Wait a while." "Okay." The sky was blue and the white clouds were long. The person lying on the ground wanted to move his body and look at the sky outside. However, he felt that his body was so heavy that it did not listen to him at all. Today should be the last day of the 3 days. Whether or not he would be able to see the sun tomorrow was still unknown. He really wanted to go out again, feel the wind, look at the sky, and look at the sun. These ordinary things were an extravagant hope for him at the moment. In the sky, the sun slowly set on the other side of the mountain. In such a season, as soon as the sun set, the weather cooled down. In a hotel in Lianshan County, "Xiaorui, how do you feel?" "To be honest, I feel much better," Jia Zizai said. Her face had a little color, which was completely different from when she went in the morning. "That proves that the medicine works," Zhong Luchuan said. "It works, but it's too expensive," Jia Zizai said. "As long as it can cure your illness, I can still afford it. Compared with health, money is secondary," Jia Zizai said. Night had come. That night, the wind was a little strong. It blew all night. The next morning, when Zhong Luchuan went out to take a look, the leaves outside seemed to have turned yellow overnight, and the weather was much cooler. Zhong Luchuan got up very early because he had to go up the mountain every morning to practice with Wang Yao. Chapter 840. As soon as he went out, he ran into Jia Zizai. "Going up the mountain to practice?" "Yes." "Let's go together." Well, seeing Zhong Luchuan's hesitant expression, Jia Zizai smiled and said, "No, I'm not going up Dongshan Mountain. I just get up in the morning to run and exercise." "Okay, let's go." The two jogged side by side. When they reached the foot of Dongshan Mountain, Jia Zizai turned around and ran back. Zhong Luchuan went up the mountain alone. Wang Yao was already waiting on the mountain. "Good morning, sir." "Good morning, Jia Zizai." He stood on the mountain and could see far. He could see clearly that there were 2 people coming. Yes. Yes. He still wants to be your disciple. Let's wait a little longer, Wang Yao said. The master and disciple began to practice on the mountain. They practiced, meditated, and guided qi. At the foot of the mountain, Jia Zizai ran home alone. He was quite dispirited. Seeing him like this, Hu Mei smiled and asked, "What's wrong?" "Nothing. Let's eat." "Well, okay." Hot breakfast was served. It was very fragrant and warm. "Come on, breakfast is ready." "Thank you, my wife." "Don't be silly. Are you still thinking about being my disciple?" "Well, I won't think about it for the time being. Let's eat." "I'll start eating." A big bowl of noodles was fried crispy. He buried his head in it and fried eggs. Soon, Jia Zizai cleared the plate and bowl in front of him. "Well, it's delicious." After eating, he lit a cigarette. A cigarette after a meal was better than being a living immortal. "It's been 3 days, Hu Mei whispered. "Well?" Jia Zizai, who had come back to his senses, understood the meaning of Hu Mei's words. "Poison Master, it's time to die." "I'll go and have a look." Jia Zizai went out of the yard with a cigarette in his mouth. The somewhat dilapidated house stood there quietly. In front of the door was an apricot tree with yellow leaves. Most of them had fallen. The door was mottled with iron shavings and a rusty lock. Pushing the door open, the creaking sound of the door was very ear-piercing. Sigh. When Jia Zi walked to the door of the house, he stopped and stood there. The cigarette in his hand burned out. Then, he lit another one. He pushed the door open and walked into the house. There was a person lying on the ground. He was no longer breathing. His eyes were closed, and there was no expression on his face. The famous Poison Master, a villain who had killed countless people, had passed away just like that. In such a small mountain village, no one knew, no one pitied, and no one saw him off. "Have a safe journey," Jia Zizai said. "Gone." Hu Mei walked in from outside. "Let's go." The 2 of them stood side by side. "Tell me, what will we look like when we die in the future?" Hu Mei suddenly asked. "Many children and grandchildren," Jia Zizai said. It seemed to be an irrelevant answer, but after thinking about it carefully, it was very thoughtful. "I hope so," Hu Mei whispered. She seemed to be worried about something. "It must be so we have to hurry up and work hard." "You are so annoying." After closing the door, the Poison Master was still lying on the cold ground. His body had long been cold. "I'll go and talk to Dr. Wang." "Okay." Jia Zizai went to the clinic alone. There was a patient in the clinic, so he waited there. "What's the matter?" "No hurry, I'll wait for a while." "You can go ahead with your work," Jia Zizai said. "Okay, pour yourself some tea." "Okay." The patient did not have any serious illness. He just caught a cold. It was not a big problem. Wang Yao prescribed him some medicine and asked him to leave after a few words. "Okay, he's gone." "What's the matter?" "The Poison Master is dead," Jia Zizai said. Wang Yao was silent for a long time. He quietly stared at the table in front of him. This was a person he had killed with his own hand. He had used that method to make him die in pain. "I got it." "How do you deal with the body?" "Well, I'll have to trouble you with that," Wang Yao said. He could cure diseases, kill people, read feng shui, and set up battle arrays. However, he still needed to find a professional to deal with the body. He could not go through the normal way. Jia Zizai in front of him was undoubtedly the most professional. Okay. He was full of poison. Even if he was dead, the poison would not accumulate. "You have to be careful. Come back in the afternoon. I'll give you another dose of detoxification powder." "Okay," Jia Zizai said with a smile. "Thank you. This is what we should do." "It can be considered as compensation," Jia Zizai hurriedly said. Seeing that Wang Yao did not want to communicate, he left the clinic. He went back to discuss with Hu Mei how to deal with the body of the poison master. They were indeed experts in dealing with the body. However, this time they had to think about it carefully. After all, they were unfamiliar with this place. Even if the poison master was dead, he was still a bomb. If they did not deal with it properly, it might cause trouble. Thousands of miles away in Jing, Lu Jingfeng looked at his wife's rosy face and was very happy. Just now, they went to the best hospital in Jing for a regular checkup. The doctor there said that the condition of the fetus in his wife's belly was very stable, which surprised her. She was very familiar with Feng Jia. She had been receiving patients before, whether it was regular checkups or the last 2 abortions. Naturally, she was very familiar with her situation. When she came for a checkup a month ago, there were signs of the fetus being lost. At that time, she was very worried. However, the fetus's condition was very stable today. The physical condition of the pregnant woman was obviously much better than the last time she came. This could be seen even without a checkup. "How did you do it?" the chief physician of the obstetrics and gynecology department asked curiously. "Well, directorly, we found a Chinese medicine practitioner and treated it," Feng Jia said. "Oh, which doctor?" Don't get me wrong," directorly said. "I'm very curious. In fact, although your situation is relatively rare, it is still encountered every year. His treatment method is so effective. If it can be popularized, it will be very meaningful." "Well, I'm sorry," Lu Jingfeng said. "We really don't know the specific information of this doctor. He is not from this city. We were introduced to him by others. He knew that Dr. Wang had some special rules. One of them was that his detailed information could not be disclosed without his permission. The reason why they could be received by Dr. Wang this time was entirely because of the help of his wife's relative. It should be known that many people in Jing wanted to contact Dr. Wang through various means, but in the end, only a few succeeded. Is that so? That's a pity, Lu Jingfeng said. If you have a chance to contact that doctor in the future, please pass on his opinion. Okay, we will remember it, Lu Jingfeng said. Just like that, the 2 of them left the hospital and returned home. I'm finally a little relieved this time, Feng Jia said. After all, there were still several months from now until the child was born. No one could guarantee that there would not be any accidents during this time. In a few days I'll go to the mountain village, Lu Jingfeng said. Do you want me to go with you? There's no need, Lu Jingfeng said. It's still thousands of miles away from Jing, Lu Jingfeng said. It's tiring to take a plane, take a car, and travel. Your body has just improved a little. It's better to rest at home. That's good. In any case, the 2 of them finally felt relieved. Even if it was only temporary, it was good. In Lianshan County, a man and a woman were shopping. This small town was unfamiliar to them. It was their first time here. Compared with the city they lived in, it was actually very small and somewhat backward. It's so small. Yes, but it's a little different from home, the man said. The 2 of them slowly strolled on the street aimlessly and stopped in front of a movie theater. This was the only movie theater in the small town. The price of the movie ticket was the highest in the nearby counties, but there were still many people every day. Other than this movie theater, the nearest one was 48 kilometers away, which was a little far. Chapter 841. Let's go in and watch a movie, the woman suddenly said as she looked at the movie poster outside. Sure, the man replied with a smile. We haven't watched a movie together for a long time. Because the woman's health was very poor and she often had headaches, they couldn't go to these noisy places on weekdays. Otherwise, it would only aggravate her headaches and other physical symptoms. The 2 entered the cinema. They didn't choose to watch those popular action movies. Instead, they chose to watch a more warm urban light comedy. It was not a popular movie. The theater was small, but it was still full of people, most of whom were couples. The movie soon began to play. There were new actors, and they were very pleasing to the eyes. It was old-fashioned, and one could roughly guess the ending after watching the first 10 minutes or so. However, the two of them still watched it with relish. Watching the movie was secondary, and the key was to enjoy the atmosphere. The two of them held each other's hands. The woman gently leaned her head on the man's shoulder, looking very loving. In the hotel, the slightly older man who was traveling with them was smoking a cigarette. Looking at his expression, he seemed to be very unhappy. "I'm going shopping too." He threw the cigarette butt in his hand on the ground and stepped on it hard. He then picked up his coat and went out. "What kind of small county is this? There isn't even a decent place." He couldn't help but complain after going out for a walk. Indeed, compared with his hometown, Lianshan County was a lot smaller and underdeveloped. However, a small town also had its advantages. The pace was slower, and there was no sense of tension in a big city. In the mountain village, Wang Yao had a special guest. It was Guo Sairu. "I haven't seen you for a while. What have you been busy with?" Wang Yao made a cup of tea for her. He hadn't seen her for a few days. She had lost a lot of weight, but she was still very beautiful. "Mainly abroad. I've been to all the places I can, including Europe, Africa, and America." "Very good." "Yes, I've seen a lot, made a lot of friends, and thought a lot of things through," Guo Sairu said with a smile. "You're thinner, but more energetic," Wang Yao said. "As the saying goes, it's better to travel 10,000 miles than to read 10,000 books. Going out is broadening one's horizons. If you come into contact with more people, you will find that those who go to more places are obviously better than those who stay at home and don't go anywhere." "You seem to have something on you, sir," Guo Sairu said with a smile. "Oh, what is it?" "Yes, a mysterious aura and a worldly aura." Guo Sairu said two things that should not have been related. "You're quite insightful," Wang Yao said. "I've been out a lot recently." "Have you settled the matter with Xiao Shui?" "Yeah, it's basically settled. After she graduates, we'll get married." "Remember to inform me when the time comes." "Definitely." Guo Sairu was different from her scheming younger brother. She was a very upright woman. One could even see the kind of magnanimity in her that was rarely seen in men. If she were a man, she would be many times better than her troublesome younger brother. "Well, good tea," Guo Sairu said. "Is this Da Hong Pao from Wui Mountain?" "Yes, it is." "Sir, you have so many treasures." "It's also a gift from someone." The two of them were like old friends who had not seen each other for a long time. They chatted a lot. Wang Yao could see that Guo Sairu did not seem to be particularly happy. She seemed to have something on her mind. "Something on your mind?" "Yes, marriage." "Oh, do you have someone you like?" Wang Yao asked. "Not at the moment, but my family has arranged a marriage for me," Guo Sairu said. Guo Sairu said. This was a marriage that had been decided a long time ago. At that time, she was still very young and didn't know what marriage was. Naturally, she didn't worry about this matter. Now that she had reached the age to talk about marriage, her family would naturally mention this matter. Although the elders who had decided on this matter at that time were no longer around, it still had to be done. The problem was that Guo Sairu did not like the man at all. "I don't like him." "Then don't get married." "Wait and see," Wang Yao said. "I think so too, but my family doesn't think so," Guo Sairu said. Being born in such a big family and enjoying a life that ordinary people could not enjoy, it was inevitable that they had to give up some things. Marriage was a common occurrence in families like theirs. If there were no feelings, it was fine. They could be cultivated slowly. Sometimes, love was unrealistic. This was the opinion of the elders. They told the younger generation from their experience, especially those who had fantasies. "This is a bit troublesome," Wang Yao said. Guo Sairu's situation was different from Su Xiaoshui's. Su Xiaoshui's parents just wanted their daughter to be happy. As for who she wanted to marry, they would not interfere so much. As long as she liked him, it was fine. Of course, it was necessary to check the marriage. They could not let their precious daughter marry an unreliable person. Didn't you tell your parents? I told them, Guasiru said. It's my parents' orders and the matchmaker's words. They are using the same old method to suppress me. It's annoying. It was precisely because of this that she chose to travel abroad. In fact, it was also to avoid these things and express her attitude. What about the man? He's okay. His reputation is not bad, Guasiru said. She had also specifically inquired about the situation of the man who was engaged to her. His reputation was not bad. He was a modest gentleman. He was not a scheming person. That was good. We can try to get along. Okay. Guasiru took a sip of tea. Let's go. So soon? Stay and have dinner with me. No, I just came to see you and talk to you, Guasiru said with a smile. In fact, she and Wang Yao were far from being as close as she had imagined. The relationship between the two of them was just ordinary friends. She did not know why, but after returning to China, she subconsciously came to this small mountain village to talk to Wang Yao and talk about the difficulties in her heart. It was as if the two of them were good friends who had known each other for many years. Take care. Okay, go back. Come again when you have time. Okay. Hey, wait. Wang Yao stopped Guasiru. He went back into the house and took out a bag. This is the fruit that I grew on the mountain. It tastes good. There is also a bag of tea. It is also the camellia that I grew. Take it with you on the way. Okay, thank you. Wang Yao stood at the south end of the village and watched Guasiru leave. Hey, look at that girl. Isn't she very beautiful? What are you doing? She came out of Mr. Wang's clinic. Mr. Wang stood there and watched her leave. Do you think, Mr. Wang? Jia Zizai leaned against the wall and touched his chin with a thoughtful expression. Jia Zizai. Hu Mei pulled his ear. Ouch, it hurts. Honey, be gentle. You have nothing better to do. Why do you have so much free time? Especially when it comes to Sir. No, I'm just curious. Hurry up and deal with the poison master's body. Okay, got it. That night, a car drove out of the village under the cover of the night. No one knew where it went. In the morning, the sun was as usual. Pan Jun didn't go to work. He went to Wang Yao's clinic to help. Wang Yao began to teach him how to identify various Chinese medicinal herbs. He started with the most commonly used ones. This was very difficult, especially for people who didn't have much knowledge of medicinal herbs. Pan Jun studied Western medicine. Don't worry, these herbs have their own characteristics. Their shapes, colors, and tastes are different. Wang Yao's tone was very calm, which made people unconsciously relax. Remember the commonly used ones first. These herbs had to be remembered clearly. Otherwise, if he took the wrong one, it might not be able to cure the disease. It might even worsen the disease or even kill the patient. After a whole morning, Pan Jun felt a little headache. Let's go and eat. At noon, they went out to eat. They wanted to call Jia Zizai and Hu Mei, but the two of them didn't go out at home. Chapter 842. The place to eat was still the small restaurant in the village. Where did they go? Wang Yao asked. They went to deal with the matter that Mr. Wang told them to do, Zhong Luchuan explained very vaguely. Wang Yao nodded after hearing that. The dishes were served quickly because there were not many people eating there. Including them, there were only 3 tables. Since Wang Yao was an acquaintance, the owner of the restaurant personally came to say hello. He did not look too good. What's wrong, Mr. Li? Wang Yao asked. He lit a cigarette and sighed. Don't mention it, Mr. Li said. The business has been very bad this month. Fortunately, it is my own yard. Otherwise, I would have lost money. Is that so? But as far as I know, this should be a good time to take a bath in the hot spring. It was not far from the hot spring in Lijiago. Although the hot spring resort had food and accommodation services, the restaurant's food was solid and fresh. It had always had a good reputation. During the boom of tourism, Wang Yao remembered that there was even a queue to eat there. Is there another problem? Wang Yao asked. Well, another person died this month, Mr. Li said. He died in the hot spring resort. Another one died? Wang Yao was very surprised to hear that. As far as he knew, 4 people had died in less than a year in the village where the hot spring was located. Although it was normal for people to die in a normal village, most of them were old people. The people who died in that village were children and young men, which was not normal. Do you know how they died? It seems that they drowned. Drowned? How can one drown in a hot spring? Pan Jun was very surprised after listening to the story. Isn't that too bad? Oh, there are all kinds of rumors, Mr. Li said. One thing is certain. They did die in the hot spring pool. Think about it. It is unlucky to have people die in the hot spring pool. If people knew about it, who would dare to go there? Yes. Most people would go on a vacation and take a bath in the hot spring for the sake of relaxation. They wouldn't want to be in a state of panic and encounter a life-threatening situation while taking a bath in the hot spring. In fact, it was the same reason that if someone died in a house, the house would not be easy to sell. It was unlucky. The Chinese believed in this. TSK, if it doesn't work, I'll consider changing my profession, Bosley said. Don't. Where am I going to eat in the future? Wang Yao asked with a smile. He also knew that Bosley was probably just speaking in a fit of anger. The restaurant would probably continue to operate. I say, Bosley, let me give you a suggestion. Pan Jun took a sip of tea. As the saying goes, it's been a long time since you've been afraid of the dark alleys. Now, there are so many rich people in this city. Apart from those famous big hotels, they also like to come to this kind of special restaurant. Look, your courtyard needs to be decorated. Get some flowers and plant. The key is to make some special signature dishes. I've eaten here with my master several times and found that the fish and chicken here are pretty good. The key is that the ingredients are fresh enough. I think you can study these 2 dishes carefully and make them your signature dishes. Pan Jun gave his own reasonable suggestions. Wait a minute. Let me take the notes. Bosley hurriedly said. There's no need for that, right? No, I have to write it down. When I'm old, my brain is not very good. The boss hurriedly went out to get the notebook and paper. Sorry to disturb your meal. Today's table is on me. How can that be? Okay, that's settled, Bosley said. He carefully recorded Pan Jun's suggestions. The main reason was that Pan Jun's job required him to go out to socialize. He had eaten in many restaurants, so he had some experience. In fact, Bosley also knew these things. It was just that the onlookers saw more clearly than the players involved. What do you think of my suggestions? Very good, Bosley said. Every time you come here to eat in the future, I'll give you a 30% discount. And my master and my, junior? Zhong Luchuan just nodded and didn't say anything. Although the 2 of them had learned different things from Wang Yao, they had entered the school one after the other. Pan Jun could call him junior. No problem, all 30% off. Bosley waved his hand. Okay, I won't disturb your meal. I'll go first. Okay, go ahead. After a while, all the dishes were served. In addition to the few dishes they had ordered, the boss also gave them 2 other dishes. Well, the taste of the dishes is very good, Zhong Luchuan said. Master, are his dishes all natural? Most of what he gives us to eat is natural, Wang Yao said. It's hard to say for others. If there are few people eating, it'll be fine, Wang Yao said. If there are many people eating, think about how he can get so many natural and pollution-free things. It's already very good to guarantee that most of them are natural. As far as I know, he is planning to build 2 vegetable greenhouses on the mountain behind to serve this restaurant. Isn't this a long-term plan? Wang Yao asked. Yes, in fact, in the nearby villages, this restaurant is the only one that looks like it, Wang Yao said. It's clean and hygienic, and the taste is good. If someone in this village wants to treat someone, the first thing they think of is this restaurant. Then, he still wants to change careers? Wang Yao asked. It's just a moment of anger. Come on, drink and eat. After the meal, the three of them returned to the mountain village. Are you free tomorrow? Wang Yao said. Tomorrow, what are you going to do, master? I'll treat you to a hot spring. Pan Jun and Zhong Luchuan were stunned. No way, master, Zhong Luchuan said. Mr. Li just said that someone had just died in the hot spring resort. Why are we going there? Let's go and have a look, Wang Yao said. Forget it, I'll go by myself. Sir, I'm free tomorrow, Zhong Luchuan said. I'll change shifts tomorrow, Pan Jun said. Master, can't we go in the afternoon? Someone came to see a doctor in the afternoon, Wang Yao said. Not long after they returned to the clinic, a patient came to see them. It was an old man with leg pain. I'll leave him to you, Wang Yao said to Pan Jun, no problem. Tuina massage was the only skill that Pan Jun had mastered that he was relatively proficient in. The final result was good. The old man's expression was very enjoyable. When he came, his leg was a little limp, but when he left, it was not visible at all. I haven't been here for some time, so I'm a little rusty, Pan Jun said. The second patient was a woman in her 40s. She felt uncomfortable in her stomach. She felt there was something inside. Have you eaten anything recently? Wang Yao asked after checking her pulse. Well, I've eaten a lot. Tell me, what have you eaten? Well, steamed buns, rice, apples, bananas. The woman began to describe what she had eaten in the past few days after thinking about it. The last 3 days should be enough, Wang Yao added. Oh, okay. Also, hawthorn and persimmon. Wait, hawthorn and persimmon? What persimmon? The kind that grows on trees, not tomatoes, the woman said. I see, Wang Yao said. There are food residues in your stomach, which is usually called gastric stones. Then, what should I do? That's easy, Wang Yao said. Go back and drink some Coke. Drink more, and you'll be fine. So simple? The woman was stunned. Well, you have to be careful when you eat, Wang Yao said. Some things can't be mixed. Hawthorn and persimmon can't be eaten together. I'm anxious. The woman came with a nervous mood. When she left, she was in a relatively relaxed mood. The third patient was a young girl. She was quite beautiful. She had a lump on her leg, which was at the ankle. It felt a little hard to the touch. How long has it been? Wang Yao asked. Well, it has been 2 months, the girl's father said. At first, it was just a little bit. We didn't pay much attention to it. Later, it slowly grew up and became a little anxious. We went to the county hospital and took 2 kinds of medicine to apply to the lump. It has been 2 weeks, but the effect is not very good. Chapter 843. Okay, I'll prescribe some medicine for you. Wang Yao thought for a moment. Angelica, Rhamania glutinosa, Ophiopagon, white peony, fleece flower on the surface, it was tinea, but in essence, it was a disease of blood heat. It was mainly used to relieve qi and cool the blood. However, this was still a child. As the saying goes, all medicine is 3 parts poison. Wang Yao tried his best to choose the milder ones and at the same time, strictly control the quantity. This medicine is to be taken orally for 7 days, once a day. This medicine is for external application. I've already mashed it for you. When the time comes, mix it with olive oil and apply it to the lump. Wrap it up with gauze to keep it ventilated. Use this for 10 days. If it's not enough, come back for more, Wang Yao said. Okay. How old is this child? I just started my first year this year. When she first starts school and changes to a new environment, she needs to adapt. She may be anxious and angry. At this time, don't be too harsh on her. You should guide her. Wang Yao saw that the little girl didn't seem happy, so he said a few more words. Hey, you don't know, the man said. This child doesn't listen carefully in class. She doesn't know what to ask. At night, she does her homework until 9:30. This morning, she doesn't want to get out of bed. I'm so anxious. She doesn't listen to me. This is a process. Don't be too anxious. Maybe she's even more anxious than you. She's been very dry recently, right? Yeah, it's pretty dry. Sometimes I'll poop once every 2 or 3 days. Drink more water. Children at this age must ensure that they get enough sleep. Study hard and do your best, Wang Yao said to the little girl. Yes. The girl was still unhappy. Say thank you, uncle. Thank you, uncle. Thank you. You're welcome. Take care. The middle-aged man left the clinic with his daughter. When my son first started primary school, he also didn't listen to the lessons. He was quite naughty. There was even a lesson where he stood up from his seat and walked around the classroom. When the teacher asked him why, he said that sitting was too tiring and wanted to move around. Don't you think that's funny? Pan Jun said with a smile. You were quite anxious back then, weren't you? When I tutored him at night, he basically didn't know anything. If he didn't pay attention in class, it would be strange if he knew anything. I couldn't help but hit him a few times. But after I hit him, I regretted it. After all, he was only a 6-year-old child. Looking at his aggrieved face, I felt that he was quite pitiful. When it came to his son, Pan Jun was quite talkative. And then, after that, I also communicated with his teacher several times. I also put in some effort. He slowly got used to it. Some of his bad habits slowly changed. Now, his studies are still okay. Pan Jun said, we have to thank his teacher for this. I've already told his form teacher. As long as he doesn't listen to me, I'll beat him or scold him. I won't say anything and will definitely cooperate. Yes, it's important to have a good teacher. Wang Yao listened and said. He was able to get into that famous university thanks to a good form teacher in high school. His grades improved a lot. It's not like the past. Just casually touching a student may be said to be corporal punishment. Not to mention hitting, even scolding a few words or criticism is too heavy. After going back and telling the parents, there will probably be some parents who will complain. If the Education Bureau finds out, these teachers will face punishment. In serious cases, they will directly lose their jobs. Yes. Wang Yao nodded. He had seen a lot of such news. Because he pulled a student a few times, he was sued by the student's parents. Then, he was slandered as corporal punishment. As a result, the teacher almost lost his job. It was not like when he was in school. If you don't listen to me, I'll make you stand outside. If you don't listen to me, I'll slap you until you immediately admit your mistake. In fact, a teacher should have the dignity of a teacher. Appropriate punishment is necessary. In ancient times there were rulers, Pan Jun said. Now the teachers are not willing to take care of it. A lot of the learning tasks are put on the parent. Actually, it's not the teacher's fault. It's just that the atmosphere of this society has changed, Wang Yao said. Thinking back to the past, their teachers were so angry that their students did not study well that their stomachs felt uncomfortable. They came to school at 5 a.m. and accompanied the students to study until 10 a.m. Now, except for those old teachers, there were not many who could do it. The students nowadays were the same. It seemed that they were not as hard-working as they were back then. The times were changing. However, it was hard to say whether this was good or bad. For most students, studying, getting into a good school, and choosing a good major was the best way out. Those who said that studying was useless were pure nonsense. Nowadays, the threshold for employment was the most basic requirement for most employers. Moreover, some better employers would only recruit students from 211 schools. This was another threshold. In other words, if you didn't study hard, you wouldn't even have the qualifications to come into contact with these opportunities. Of course, if your father was a high-ranking official or your family owned several mines, then it was a different story. You wouldn't even need to go to junior high school. In the afternoon, 4 patients came. They did not have any special diseases. Before 5 p.m., they were idle. Have some fruit. It's grown on the mountain. Okay. It's delicious. Pan Jun exclaimed after taking out a bunch of grapes. Take some back when you leave later and let your family have a taste. There's no need for that. It's okay. There are more on the mountain. I can't eat them myself. They will spoil if they are left for a long time. Okay. Pan Jun did not stay. He drove back to Lianshan County with a bag of fruit. That night, Jia Zizai and Hu Mei drove back to Lianshan County. They looked tired. Hey, have a good rest. I'm so tired. What do you want to eat? I'll make it for you. A bowl of noodles will be fine. After eating noodles, the two of them went to bed early. It was a peaceful night. The next morning, the sky was a little gloomy. The weather forecast said it would rain that day. Zhong Luchuan went to the mountain early and began a day of practice with Wang Yao. Sir, Jia Zizai and Hu Mei came back last night, Zhong Luchuan said. The matter should have been handled. Okay, I see. Wang Yao nodded. Do you have anything to do at noon? No. Make an appointment with them. I'll treat them to a meal to thank them. Okay. It started to rain at about 10 in the morning. The autumn rain was fine and cool. There was also wind in the rain. It was already cold when it blew on the body. On that day, no one would come to see a doctor unless the situation was very urgent. At 11 o'clock, Wang Yao closed the door and asked them to go to the village. In the car, Jia Zizai sighed with a cigarette in her mouth. It's so cold in autumn. Smoke less. Hu Mei said. It's not good for your health. Don't you want to have children? Well, yes, I quit. Jia Zizai immediately put out the cigarette in her hand and threw it out of the car. It was raining that day. There were even fewer people coming to eat there. They were the only people at the table. If you hadn't come today, I wouldn't have opened for business, Mr. Li said with a smile. It's normal to have fewer customers on a rainy day, Wang Yao said with a smile. He ordered a few dishes. The wine was brought by Wang Yao. Because they were the only table, the dishes were served quickly. Come on, let's have a drink. This glass of wine is to thank you, Wang Yao said. You're welcome, sir. It's good that you don't blame us, Jia Zizai said. After that, she drank the wine in the glass. The second glass of wine is the wine, Wang Yao said. Let bygones be bygones. From now on, we are a village. Get along well. Yes, Jia Zizai said. She drank the glass of wine in one gulp. It was still raining outside. Come on, have some fish. The fish was the last to be served because it was stewed in a big pot. It took a certain amount of time. Tsk, it smells good. They all enjoyed the meal, especially Jia Zizai and Hu Mei. In fact, whether Wang Yao would accept apprentices or not was not the main point. The key was that they already liked the small mountain village. It was not easy to find such a suitable place to stay. They really did not want to change. Chapter 844. The rain was still falling, and the atmosphere was very harmonious. After dinner, they went to Wang Yao's clinic to drink good tea. The tea is so fragrant, Jia Zizai exclaimed. This is camellia from Nanshan Hill, Wang Yao said. If you like it, take it with you later. Wang Yao took out a pack of unpackaged tea leaves. Inside was the fried camellia. Although there was no exquisite packaging, the tea inside exceeded 99% of the tea that could be seen on the market. Thank you, sir. Jia Zizai was not pretentious. She took the tea leaves from Wang Yao's hand. This is a good start. Wang Yao thought to himself. The afternoon passed quietly with such a leisurely conversation. Unknowingly, it was getting dark. Do you have time tonight? Wang Yao asked. Yes, why? Wang Yao asked. I want to invite you to my house for a meal tonight, Wang Yao said. That's good. Wang Yao thought for a moment. Anyway, he did not have anything to do at night. Lu Chuan, do you want to join us? Sure. Seeing that Wang Yao had agreed, the two of them left and went home to prepare dinner. What do you like to eat? Well, I'm not very sure, Jia Zizai said. Well, try to make it as rich as possible. Okay. He went out to buy while Hu Mei prepared at home. The couple prepared a table of dishes and 2 bottles of good wine. Okay, everyone is here. In the evening, Wang Yao and Zhong Luchuan came to their home one after another. The decoration of the home was very warm. It was mainly simple and elegant. It was very pleasing to the eye and looked very romantic. Sir, I don't know what you like to eat, so I just made some random dishes. I hope you will like them. It's very rich, thank you, Wang Yao said. In fact, he did not have high requirements for food and drink. He just wanted to eat enough and be healthy. That was enough. The few of them talked and laughed. Unknowingly, they seemed to have taken a step closer to each other. In the evening, Wang Yao went to Nanshan Hill as usual. Strange, the sky today is a little strange? He stood in the medicinal field and looked at the sky. These days, he had never seen such a celestial phenomenon. In the southwest direction there was a very special kind of dim yellow. However, ordinary people couldn't see it. Even if they saw it, they wouldn't care. Could something strange have happened there? Wang Yao thought to himself. In a city in the southwest, hundreds of miles away, the wind was blowing violently that night. Hailstones fell from the sky for a long time, smashing countless farmlands, trees, and glass. Some animals were even directly smashed to death, and some people were injured because they couldn't escape in time. This sudden hailstorm was said to be the worst recorded in this city in decades, and the relevant meteorological department didn't make a timely forecast. The next morning, Wang Yao and Zhong Luchuan were practicing on the mountain, watching Jia Zizai leave. Luchuan, do you mind having another junior brother? It's up to you. With this sentence, he knew what Wang Yao's thoughts were. Most likely, he approved of Jia Zizai. Wait a little longer. Okay. Because of the rain the day before, the weather was a lot colder that day. In the morning, 3 people came to the clinic. They were the few people who had come a few days ago. The woman's complexion was obviously much better. Her face was ruddy, her eyes were brighter, and her steps were lighter. Hello, Dr. Wang, the woman said. This time, the attitude of the 3 people towards him was obviously much more respectful than before. In less than 4 days, the medicine seemed to have changed a person. Facts spoke louder than words. All their doubts vanished into thin air, replaced by admiration and conviction. You look much better? Yes, I feel like I'm a completely different person now. My headache is much better, and I can fall asleep at night. Also, the symptoms of thirst are basically gone. Your medicine is really amazing, the woman praised sincerely. You haven't been completely cured yet, Zhong Luchuan said. Why don't you take 2 more? Oh, okay. This time, they didn't hesitate at all. They were not as reluctant as they were the last time. Wait a moment. The 3 people waited quietly in the clinic. In another room, Wang Yao was decocting the medicine alone. It's done. The price of the medicine was the same as the last time, but this time, it was much easier to pay the bill. Excuse me, Dr. Wang, how long do we have to stay here? We'll see the effect after taking the medicine, Wang Yao said. If the effect is good, you can go back to recuperate and come back later. Okay, thank you. The 3 people took the medicine and left. After leaving the clinic, they breathed a sigh of relief. Well, our previous worries were unnecessary, the slightly younger man said. Before they came, They were worried that the doctor in the clinic would hold a grudge against them because of their impulsive and disrespectful behavior last time. That would be troublesome. In fact, after less than 4 days of treatment, they already knew that the young doctor's medical skills were as good as the legends said. The medicine could cure the disease. They were about to be cured. If all their previous efforts were wasted because of their impolite behavior last time, they were afraid that they would regret it, especially the older man. So, we'll wait here for another 3 days? Okay. The 3 people returned to Lianshan County. In the morning, Wang Yao was alone in the clinic. When there were no patients, he took out his mobile phone to read the news. A piece of news caught his attention. Last night, there was a sudden hailstorm hundreds of miles away in Lai Province. The hailstorm was very large and smashed a lot of windows. A considerable number of cars parked in the open were also damaged by the hailstorm. What was more surprising was that more than a dozen people were hospitalized because they could not avoid the hailstorm in time. One person was seriously injured and was still in the intensive care unit for observation. His life was not out of danger. Lai Province, southwest, the abnormal sky seen last night? These seemingly unrelated things became a string in Wang Yao's mind. He took out an unused notebook from the table and carefully recorded the abnormal sky seen last night. He also drew a simple picture. It was not very beautiful, but he could understand it. Thousands of miles away, in a small county in southern Yunnan. What do you mean? Guo Zhenghe looked at the report in front of him and was very angry. Standing in front of him, the director of the Public Security Bureau lowered his head and did not speak. His face was very ugly. In 3 days, 11 people have died. How do you think I should report to the city? Look at the news on the internet. It's going crazy. I just received a call from Governor Liu of the province. He personally asked about this matter. No matter where it was a big deal to have so many casualties in such a short period of time. It had to be resolved as soon as possible. Moreover, these 11 people were all from the same village. Some died on the mountain, some died in their own homes, and some died in the car. What was even more surprising was that they had not found any clues so far. What did the forensic doctor say? The autopsy is still being carried out, but so far, no abnormal signs have been found. No, 11 people in a village died, men, women, old and young. You're telling me that this is a coincidence? The director of the Public Security Bureau really did not know how to answer this question. This matter was not a coincidence, but so far, no clues had been found. You guys really disappoint me. Chapter 845. The criminal investigation experts from the province will arrive this afternoon. You are required to cooperate with them and provide them with all the necessary conditions to solve the case as soon as possible and give an explanation to the 11 dead people, the city, and the province. Do you understand? Guo Zhenghe said with a gloomy face. Yes, sir. The director of the Public Security Bureau saluted. Well, go back and make preparations as soon as possible. The director of the Public Security Bureau kept wiping his sweat after coming out of the office. Just now, in the office, the county party secretary and the county magistrate, who was only 30 years old, gave him a lot of pressure. The key was that this case was really tricky. In fact, in less than 3 days, 11 people in a village had died. This was a top priority matter in any place. He had to find the reason in the shortest time possible and give a reasonable explanation. Sigh. The director sighed. This is too much pressure. In the office, Guo Zhenghe lit a cigarette and leaned on the chair, staring at the ceiling. This time, he was also very passive. Although some things were easier to deal with because of his family's relationship, it also depended on the situation. This time, the matter was too big. The higher-ups had already helped him a lot because of his family's relationship. Moreover, their attitude was still gentle. If it were other people, they would definitely be criticized. Moreover, it would have a great impact on their future political career. What was going on? A very clear and crisp sound came from behind. He turned around. Beside him was a bright glass. What's that sound? He got up and walked to the window. He looked outside. This was the county party committee's courtyard. It was a bit old. There was a road outside, and there were not many cars. There was nothing unusual. Did I hear it wrong? Guo Jinghe looked outside for a while, but he did not find anything. However, he clearly heard the sound coming from this direction. He turned and went back to the desk where he worked. What is this? He was stunned. There was a document bag on the desk. There was no mark on it. He clearly remembered that there was nothing on his desk before he got up. No one came in just now because this was his office. He was currently the highest leader in the county. People from outside must knock on the door to enter the office. They must get his permission before entering. Little song. He shouted outside, and a man immediately came in. His actual age was probably even older than Guo Jinghe. Secretary Guo, you called for me? Did someone just come in? Yes, other than Director Liu of the Public Security Bureau, no one else has come in. All right, I got it. You can leave now. Guo Jinghe waved his hand. The secretary pushed the door open and left. Guo Jinghe looked at the folder in the middle of his desk. It was a very ordinary folder. There was no sign on it. It just sat there quietly. He stared at the folder for a while, then reached out to touch it. It was a paper object. He gently opened the folder. There was a stack of information inside. Once he opened it, his eyes shone brightly. Then, he carefully read through it. Interesting, very interesting. Guo Jinghe's expression became more and more interesting because the document provided him with a very interesting piece of information that he had never come across before. He read through the information 3 times. Knock, knock, knock. There was a knock on the door. Come in. Secretary Guo, there is a battalion commander Guo outside looking for you, the secretary said. Battalion Commander Guo? Guo Jinghe was stunned when he heard that. He carefully put away the documents before asking his secretary to invite the man in. Secretary Guo, are you busy? A man in a military uniform came in from outside. He had a square face and looked extraordinary. Second brother, why are you here? After seeing the man, Guo Jinghe hurriedly stood up. Quick, please sit down. Why do you have time to come here? The secretary next to him poured a glass of water for the guest and tactfully went outside. I have business here, so I came to see you. How are you? Not bad, Guo Jinghe said with a smile. Well, you look more capable than before. You are a county party secretary at such a young age. You are the best among us. Please don't say that, Guo Jinghe hurriedly said. We are all family. You don't have to be modest with me, the lieutenant colonel said with a smile. I'm worried about that right now. I heard about it when I came here. How is it? Do you have any clues? The officer asked seriously. No. Guo Jinghe shook his head. So many people died at once. It is not a small matter. Second uncle didn't say anything? He didn't say anything. He just called to ask. He asked me to investigate carefully and report truthfully. The criminal investigation experts in the province came back today. I hope they can solve the mystery, Guo Jinghe said. Well, you don't have to worry too much. That is true, but after all, there is a problem in the place under my jurisdiction. I have to investigate clearly and give the people an explanation, Guo Jinghe said. It is called having this idea. Sitting in this position and wearing this hat, you have to have this idea. You have to think about the people and the facts in your heart. Well, let's not talk about these things. Second brother, you came all the way here. Have lunch with me at noon. It is my treat. Okay, it is settled. After chatting for a while, the 2 brothers saw that it was time to eat, so they went out to eat together. Second brother, let me ask you something. In southern Yunnan, there is a lot of voodoo. Have you heard about this? I have heard about it, but I have not seen it with my own eyes. Why do you ask about it? Do you suspect those people? No, I just happened to hear about it. The forensic doctors have examined the 11 people. They did not find any problems for the time being. This is the strange part. 11 people died in 3 days, and they were all from the same village. There can't be such a coincidence in the world, right? I just heard about it. The specific situation is naturally not as good as what you know. Well, let me think about it. The lieutenant colonel pondered for a moment. There is a person in the family who may be able to help you. Who? Su Xinyuan. Him. Hearing the name, Guo Jinghe frowned slightly. I heard that this person is a bit paranoid. He is indeed stubborn, but he is loyal and devoted to the Guo family. However, because of his personality, he is not very well liked. However, this person is really capable. Moreover, he is fine now. If you want, you can ask him to come over and help you. Let me think about it. Okay. In the mountain village thousands of miles away, Wang Yao, Zhong Luchuan, Pan Jun, Jia Zizai, and Hu Mei drove to Lijiagu to soak in the hot spring. Originally, Wang Yao had made an appointment with Zhong Luchuan and Pan Jun. Because of the delay, it was delayed by a day. However, he happened to meet Jia Zizai and Hu Mei, so the two of them came along. Lijiagu was located in the west of Wang Yao's mountain village. It was between 2 rows of mountains. Originally, Lijiagu was a more remote and poor village than Wang Yao's village. However, because of the hot spring, Lijiagu attracted a sum of money for development. The situation immediately changed. At the Xingshan Hot Spring Resort, the name came from the mountain. The construction was not bad, but at this time, it was deserted. There were only a few people. Chapter 846. It's so quiet. There were no more than 3 cars parked in the large parking lot. It seemed that they were the staff's. It is quite quiet. There were a lot of people the last time I was here. Maybe it's the wrong time? Pan Jun said. He had come here to soak in the hot spring with his friends more than once. Although it was not overcrowded the last few times he came here, the parking lot was still mostly full of cars. It was definitely not as deserted as today. Let's go in and have a look, Wang Yao said with a smile. It was his first time here. The hot spring resort was actually built halfway up the mountain. It was in an antique style. The design and construction were quite good. When they came to the front desk, they saw a woman in her 40s yawning. She was bored and playing with her mobile phone. The 5 of them walked up to her without noticing. Hello, Jia Zizai said. Hello. Are you here for the hot spring? After seeing the 5 of them, the big sister was very excited. She was so surprised that she couldn't express it in words. It's been more than 10 days. Finally, people are here. 5 people? Yes. 81 people. Let me, Jia Zizai said. No, let me. Pan Jun also took out his wallet. Don't worry about it. Didn't I say that today is my treat? In the end, Wang Yao paid the money. They went to the hot spring. Men and women were separated. Jia Zizai and Hu Mei went directly to a pool. Anyway, there was no one else in the hot spring resort except for the 5 of them. It's hygienic, Jia Zizai complained with a cigarette in his mouth. There was obvious dust on the ground, which made the originally smooth pool look gray. Fortunately, the pool was clean. Well, it's quite comfortable. After entering the hot spring, Jia Zizai stretched. It's a good place. Why is no one here? The price is not too expensive. You didn't ask Sir why he suddenly invited us to the hot spring? Ah, no, why? I think there is something, Hu Mei said. Something? What is it? You. Hu Mei rolled her eyes at him. Master, you didn't come here to investigate the cause of death of those people, did you? In another pool, Pan Jun asked softly. I'm just curious, so I came to take a look. Actually, I'm mainly here to soak in the hot spring. Don't think too much about it, Wang Yao said with a smile. Oh. Wang Yao suddenly lowered his head and carefully observed the spring water. What's wrong, master? It's nothing. Let's go after soaking for a while. The water is not very clean, Wang Yao said. It's not clean, but it looks pretty good, Pan Jun said. The spring water in the pond was very clear, and it was emitting steam. That being said, he was very cooperative and immediately got out of the pool. In fact, it was quite comfortable to soak in the water. It's okay. It won't affect you if you don't soak in it too much, Wang Yao said with a smile. After they soaked for a while, Wang Yao came out of the pool, followed by Zhong Luchuan and Pan Jun. Go and call the husband and wife. In the pool over there, Jia Zizai and Hu Mei were soaking comfortably. They received a call from Zhong Luchuan asking them to come out. What's the matter? Sir asked us to go out. There should be something wrong, right? The two of them packed up, put on their clothes, and went out. What's the matter, sir? Just soak in the water, Wang Yao said with a smile. It's not good for the body to soak in the water for too long. Really? I feel quite comfortable, Hu Mei said. I'm going to look around, Zhong Luchuan said. You guys can do whatever you want. Okay. In the villa, there were various other activities, such as a massage place, a billiard hall, and a chess and card room. It was very thoughtful, but because there were too few people, the facilities were not operating. In the current situation, there was no liquid capital for the operation of the villa. It was like a big hole. People could only throw money in, but there was no money to be made. The contractor had invested tens of millions, but he didn't even earn a dime. This was the rhythm of losing his pants. No one would be happy if this happened to him. The key was that, after the news of people dying of happiness came out, no one was willing to come. It was impossible to transfer it. At this time, the boss was still drinking somewhere, crying with his head in his hands. The wages of these workers had been delayed for several months. If the wages could not be paid, what would these people do? In the end, the boss said that they were self-sufficient and deducted from the income of the villa. However, no one came on weekdays, so there was no income. Half of the operations staff of the villa had now left. There were still several months of wages that had not been collected, so the entertainment projects had been abandoned. Now there was no other entertainment in this place except for the hot springs. It's so boring. Jia Zizai and Hu Mei wandered around the villa. The villa was as bleak as it was in this season. What the hell is going on? Something must have happened, Pan Jun said. What is it? I don't know, Pan Jun said. You guys walk around first, Wang Yao said to Pan Jun and Zhong Luchuan. I'll look around. Okay, sir, Pan Jun said. What Wang Yao wanted to do now was to find the source of the hot spring and see the situation of the spring water. Wang Yao did not explain the situation clearly. The reason why he did not let them stay in the hot spring for too long was that he smelled a unique smell in the spring water. It was a fishy smell. It was the smell of insects, which meant that the water was not clean. When he thought of the people from Li family ditch who had been bitten by poisonous insects, he suspected that the smell came from the unknown poisonous insect. Therefore, he wanted to go to the source to check. There were no patrolling security guards or service staff. Wang Yao wandered around the huge villa alone. In fact, a considerable part of the valuable things had been taken away. What are you doing? Finally, he met a young man in his 20s with dyed yellow hair and a stick in his hand. I want to see what the source of the hot spring looks like, Wang Yao said. No, don't wander around if you have nothing to do. Hurry up and go. Wang Yao did not speak. He continued to walk forward. Hey, I'm talking to you. What's the matter? Don't you understand human language? When the young man saw Wang Yao's behavior, he immediately became angry. Wang Yao was shameless. He came up with the stick. Young man, anger hurts the liver. Wang Yao put his hand on the young man's shoulder. Then, the young man's body did not listen to him. He suddenly knelt on the ground. What a strong force! It felt as if a car was on his shoulder. There was no room for resistance. He knelt directly. Think about where the source of the hot spring is. Hey, brother, it hurts. It hurts. Be gentle. I'll take you there. Let's go. The young man was very cooperative. He took Wang Yao to the source of the hot spring. In fact, it was a well dug from the ground. Then, a pool was built. From there, the hot spring water was distributed to various pools through circulation equipment. There is a fishy smell, and it is very strong. Wang Yao sniffed carefully. Well, it's none of your business. Hey. The young man trotted away as if he had been pardoned. Damn, he is quite arrogant. Wait and see. After going out of the door, he looked back in the direction of the door. However, his voice was not loud. It was as if only he could hear it. On the mountain? After coming out of the room, Wang Yao looked at the mountain behind the villa. It was not abrupt. The actual height was about the same as Nanshan Hill. Look on this mountain? Wang Yao jumped. He easily jumped over the courtyard wall, which was more than 30 feet high, and went directly to the back of the mountain. Looking for very small insects on such a mountain was almost like looking for a needle in the sea. That kind of poison is heat poison. I think these insects should like hot places very much. There is a hot spring here. The geothermal heat is strong. I can look for those places. Wang Yao wandered around the mountain. Suddenly, he jumped a few times and came to the top of the mountain. He stood at a high place and looked down, looking around. There it is. He saw a place where there was a faint heat not too high up. After a few breaths, he came to the place. He squatted down and stretched out his hand. Chapter 847. There was heat coming out of the ground. Although it was very weak and ordinary people might not feel it or notice it, he reached out and touched it. It was down there. Wang Yao looked around. There was no shovel or pick. Forget it. I'll just use my hands. He squatted down and began to dig. This was a mountain. There was not only soil but also mountain rock. His hands seemed to be harder than iron and stronger than steel. His hands flew, and soil and rocks splashed out. His body kept sinking. Soon, a pit appeared on the ground. In the hot spring villa at the foot of the mountain. Where did Sir go? Jia Zizai found Zhong Luchuan and Pan Jun in the villa. He was really bored. There was really nothing fun in the villa. It was as bleak as the autumn sun. The 5 of them were considered a rarity. I don't know. As they were talking, they saw a yellow-haired young man leading 7 or 8 young people with sticks coming toward them. Well, what's the situation? Seeing these people, Jia Zizai's eyes lit up. Come here, come here. He could not help but say. What are you doing? Hu Mei glared at him. Looking for trouble, Jia Zizai said. Can't you see that they are clearly looking for trouble? Damn, where did they go? The yellow-haired young man muttered as he walked. Then, he saw Jia Zizai and the others. To be precise, he saw Hu Mei. Big brother, that girl is very beautiful. Let's go. A few people, carrying sticks, came in front of Zhong Luchuan and the others. Beauty, let's get to know each other. The yellow-haired young man grinned and put on a posture that he thought was very handsome and gentlemanly. Jia Zizai was amused. Someone dared to flirt with his wife in front of him. He was really bold, touching the earth on the head of the lion and stroking the whiskers of the tiger. These words could no longer describe how he was courting death at the moment. What are you so excited about? Hu Mei was very dissatisfied. She was being flirted with, but her husband was very excited. Was he crazy? Finally, there's something to do, Jia Zizai muttered. You punk, how dare you flirt with my wife so blatantly? Is your brain kicked by a donkey? The yellow-haired man was stunned after hearing this. Then he squinted his eyes and looked at Jia Zizai up and down. He's not a local, right? Indeed. Jia Zizai nodded. That's good. How about this? Let your wife accompany us to drink and be merry. What do you think? Jia Zizai lit a cigarette and said, You are so arrogant. When I came here, I saw a banner hanging outside. It seems to be to fight against the village tyrants and ruffians. Are you committing crimes against the wind and seeking death? The yellow-haired man and the few young men behind him changed their expressions. Recently, the county had indeed dealt a heavy blow to this crime. A few of them had been arrested in the nearby villages. They heard that those who were sent to jail were pitiful. They were still young and didn't know much. They just felt that doing this was quite awe-inspiring. Naturally, they didn't want to go to the police station. For a moment, they stood there in a dilemma. It was very awkward. Do it. What are you waiting for? Jia Zizai thought to himself. He was still waiting to fight back. Bullying children, bad students, and the like were his favorite things to do. What's wrong? Have you suddenly figured it out, or are you afraid? Yes. Zhong Luchuan shook his head. He decided not to stand there and do such boring things with a boring guy. What am I afraid of? The yellow-haired man glared at him and straightened his neck. Young people were very angry and were most afraid of provocation. Oh, you are just good at talking, Jia Zizai said. You don't have the guts. Go back and drink milk. F***ck. Do it. If there is a problem, I will take responsibility. The yellow-haired young man couldn't stand it anymore. He swung the wooden stick in his hand toward Jia Zizai's head and smashed it down. It's finally time to do it, Jia Zizai said excitedly. I can't wait. Slap. The yellow-haired man was a little dazed by the slap in the face. He felt a sharp pain in his cheek. It was burning. Slap, slap, slap. There was a continuous crisp sound. Several young people covered their cheeks and looked at the man standing in front of them with a cigarette in his mouth and a smirk on his face. It hurts. It hurts. Why does this person only know how to slap faces? Boss, this guy is a martial artist, a young man with a slightly normal brain said. Retreat. A wise man knew better than to fight when the odds were against him. They decisively wanted to run away. Retreat? Have you asked for my permission? Jia Zizai was not happy to see this. They had not finished warming up yet. They had just had some fun. How could they let them retreat so easily? He stepped in front of the young people. Don't be in such a hurry to leave. What else do you want? Let's play a game, Zhong Luchuan said. No, we don't have time. Weren't you all stunned just now? Boring. Zhong Luchuan decisively turned and left. Wait for me. Pan Jun also left. He had been a little worried about Jia Zizai earlier, but when the other party made a move, he could see that this person had kung fu, and it was a very good one. Since the other party would be fine, there was no need to stay there and watch him bully elementary school students. The yellow-haired man gritted his teeth. His arm holding the wooden stick was shaking. Why don't you try again? Maybe it was just an accident. Get out of my way. The yellow-haired man could not help but rush up with the stick. Slap. Another slap. This time it was on the left side of his face. Chirp. 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 So many little stars. My head is so dizzy. The other young people could not help but tremble. Hearing the sound, they knew it was very painful. They did not know if the big brother would become stupid from the beating. That's enough. Humei could not help it. How can that be? Jia Zizai said. He just wanted to flirt with you. Stand up, Zhong Luchuan said. Let's play a brain teaser game. I ask, you answer. If you can't answer in 5, slap in the face. There was a meeting in the forest. Who didn't come? 5, 4, an elephant, a young man hurriedly said. Why? It's in the fridge. No. Jia Zizai said. Slap. Slap. The other half of the young people's faces were slap. Who was that? Skunk. Why? The young people were stunned. Because it was too smelly. I didn't let it participate. F***ck, what kind of reason is that? After hearing this, the young men were stunned. This was a F***king brain twister. Was he F***king playing with them? Second question, Xiao Ming has 3 brothers. The eldest brother is called Xiao Chong. The second brother is called De Chong. What's the third brother's name? The young people were dumbfounded when they heard this question. Who the hell knew? They would call him whatever he said. They might as well not say it. Anyway, they would get beaten up sooner or later. 5-4, I don't know. Hey Chong. It's such a simple question. How can you not know? Jia Zizai said. Run. Someone shouted. The 7 or 8 young people ran in different directions. Then, each of them was lying on the ground in a very short time. Oh my God, we've hit the nail on the head. Fear was written all over their faces. Brother, I know I'm wrong. Please forgive me. A young man knelt on the ground and begged for mercy. As soon as he opened his mouth, others immediately followed. The 7 or 8 young people all knelt in front of Jia Zizai. What's the situation? A man has gold under his knees. How can you be so spineless? All of you, stand up, Jia Zizai said with a gloomy face. Otherwise, I'll continue to slap you. After hearing this, several people quickly stood up. Next, let's play another game. Truth or dare. Still playing? Why? Do you have a problem? No. Tell me, what's your education level? High school. Technical school. Junior high school. Hiss. After listening, Jia Zizai shook his head. You guys are really good. I'm an undergraduate. I studied by correspondence. Ask a question. Name 6 famous writers in modern times and their representative work. Jin Yong, Demigods and Semi-Devils, Legend of the Condor Heroes. Gu Long, Xiao Li's Flying Dagger, Lu Xiaofeng. Ghost blows out the light. What the hell? Jia Zizai's face became more and more ugly. What Jin Yong, Gu Long, Ghost blows out the light? It's Lu Sun, Guomorua, Mao Dun, Ba Jin, Lao Shi, Chao Yu. Slap. Slap. Jia Zizai couldn't help but slap them. Doing this kind of thing was addictive. Chapter 848. I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed. Jia Zizai said with disappointment. Tell me, how did you learn in school? What did you do in class? Reading novels, playing with mobile phones, or thinking about life? Can you face your parents, your teachers, and your motherland? The young people were dumbfounded when they heard this. Damn, how can this be related to our motherland? Isn't this too far-fetched? Is this person a psychopath? Although they thought so, they did not dare to say it. Even if the other party was a psychopath, he was also a psychopath with high skills. He was not someone they could deal with. Damn it. Tell me, what are you doing now? Security. Delivery. Delivery. Is today Saturday? Is it the weekend? Don't you have to work? Are you waiting to live off your parents or waiting for the country to support you? Jia Zizai lit a cigarette and seemed to be very angry. Look at you. The ground under your feet is shaking. The tears in your hearts are flowing. You have nothing. To put it bluntly, you are useless. Humei rolled her eyes at Jia Zizai. You don't want to study hard. You are young and you don't want to work hard. Tell me, what else can you do? Molesting women, collecting protection fees. Why? Do you want to go to jail? Brother, we won't dare to do it again. We will go back and turn over a new leaf and work hard. Yes, I swear. I swear too. Your vows are useless. Jia Zizai was very disdainful. Okay, I hope you will remember what happened today and what I said to you. One day you will realize that I am doing this for your own good, Jia Zizai said earnestly. For our own good? You are a psychopath. Go away. After hearing this, the few young people immediately stood up and left, scared witless. Their movements were as fast as rabbits, for fear that the guy behind them would suddenly go back on his words and teach them such a lesson. Who would be able to stand that? Are you happy? Hu Mei asked. I'm happy, Jiazizai said with a smile. He suddenly felt very happy. Hu Mei suddenly reached out and grabbed his ear, then twisted it in a circle. Aya, it hurts, it hurts. Wife, be gentle, be gentle. Do you think this is interesting? You alone are bullying a few young people whose IQ hasn't fully matured yet? No, I'm trying to make them realize that they're not strong enough, so that they'll have the courage to face the humiliation. Don't talk nonsense with me. Why don't you go find Sir and the others? Yes, that's right. Where did Sir go? On the mountain outside the villa, Wang Yao had already dug a huge pit with a diameter of 1.5 meters and a depth of over 2 meters. Should I give Sir a call? There's no need. Is there something you need, Sir? The few of them circled around the villa once, twice, but in the end, they still couldn't find any trace of Wang Yao. Where did he go? He couldn't have left us behind and left first, right? What are you talking about? Is it necessary? I'll go out and have a look. Zhong Luchuan looked up outside. He saw hot air coming out of the mountain outside the villa. I'll go too, Jia Zizai hurriedly said. The two of them climbed over the courtyard wall and went to the mountain. Following the hot air, they found Wang Yao, who was still digging the pit. Sir, what are you doing? Zhong Luchuan asked when he saw the situation. Digging a pit, Wang Yao said with a smile. No, sir, are you digging with your hands? Jia Zizai found that there were no tools nearby. Yes. Are you using iron hands? When he heard that Wang Yao was really digging with his hands, he was stunned. He looked carefully and found that Wang Yao's body was very clean. There was no soil. How could such a digging method be so clean? What are you looking for? I'm looking for treasure, Wang Yao said with a smile. Treasure? Is there an ancient tomb in here? Jia Zizai's eyes lit up. It was not because of the wealth, but purely because of the excitement. Yes, treasure. I think I'm about to dig it out, Wang Yao said with a smile. The pit was already very hot. It was estimated to be more than 50 degrees. He continued to dig down. Jia Zizai and Zhong Luchuan waited above, quietly watching. Splash! There was a sound. The hot spring emerged. Huh! Wang Yao was stunned. Something's wrong. It should be here. He smelled the spring water that was gushing out. Yes, this unique fishy smell is very strong. The water kept coming out. Wang Yao stood in the water, quietly looking at the surface of the water. No. He suddenly realized something. These insects should be afraid of water. He decisively jumped out of the pit. Sir, what are you looking for? Tell us, Jia Zizai said. We'll get the tools and follow you. Yes, Zhong Luchuan said. I'm looking for insects. Insects? What kind of insects? Both of them were stunned. Very interesting insects, Wang Yao said with a smile. Forget it, I don't think I can find it today. He stared at the pit. Have you found it? No, let me think about it, Wang Yao said. At that moment, a piece of soil suddenly fell from the wall of the pit, revealing a small hole. It was not big. Something could be vaguely seen moving inside. Is it here? Wang Yao said with a smile. Then, he made a grabbing motion in the air, and the small hole instantly expanded several times. Then, he could see what was inside clearly. It was a nest of bugs, black bugs. They were densely packed together, and it was somewhat disgusting. What's going on? Jia Zizai was stunned. What's going on? Sir, are the treasures you were talking about these insects? Yes, it's them, Wang Yao said with a smile. He grabbed the air, and several insects were caught through the air. These bugs looked like kowtowing bugs, but their limbs were sharper and they looked very aggressive. They were very disobedient in Wang Yao's hands. They kept biting, but they were blocked by an invisible barrier. Interesting. Wang Yao took out a glass bottle and put the insects in it. Well, we've found the treasures. We can go now. Let's go. Wait. Looking at the big pit that had been dug, Wang Yao pushed with his hand. The surrounding soil was pushed into the pit by an invisible force and filled it again. Sir, your ability is amazing! Jia Zizai exclaimed. His praise came from the bottom of his heart. However, to be able to dig such a big hole in the mountain with just these two hands and not have a single speck of dust on his body, and then with a simple push, all the dirt was filled in the hole. This was simply a fantasy. Sir, are the deaths of those people related to these insects? Well, at least the patients I came in contact with should have a lot to do with these insects, Wang Yao said. He had to go back and verify the toxicity of these insects through experiment. By the way, did you have a good time? Good, very good, Jia Zizai said. After returning to the villa, they met up and drove back. Wang Yao treated them to lunch as usual. Sir went there to catch insects. Insects? What insects? Humei asked in confusion. Chapter 849. I don't know, Jia Zizai said. It looks a little disgusting. Mr. Wang said we shouldn't underestimate those insects. If we don't treat them in time, our lives will be in danger. Is it that serious? Wang Yao asked. Several people have died because of these small insects, Jia Zizai said. The hot spring we are soaking in may even have the venom excreted by them. No wonder Mr. Wang asked us to soak for a while, Jia Zizai said. Only now did they understand what Wang Yao meant by that sentence. But how did Mr. Wang know? Jia Zizai asked. He smelled a unique fishy smell in the water, Jia Zizai said. Wang Yao drove in front to lead the way. They went directly to the restaurant in the village. Hello, welcome. The owner of the restaurant came to greet them in person. There were more people eating there today. There were 5 tables. Our signature dish, big pot stewed fish, has been improved. Try it and give me some suggestions. Okay, Jia Zizai said. The dishes were served quickly, but the fish was the last to be served. The fish soup was very white and smelled very delicious. It looks delicious, Jia Zizai said. This is fresh carp we caught from the reservoir, Jia Zizai said. It's about 1.5 pounds. We also used angelica, ginseng, and other medicinal herbs. It's delicious and nourishing. I have to try it, Wang Yao said as soon as he heard that there were medicinal herbs in it. Okay, try it. It's my treat, Jia Zizai said. No way, Jia Zizai said. It's settled. Enjoy your meal. Call me if you need anything, Jia Zizai said. Okay, Jia Zizai said. Come on, let's try the fish, Jia Zizai said. Try it, Jia Zizai said. The fish soup was very delicious. The fish was just right. Delicious. It's really delicious. I haven't had such delicious fish in a long time, Jia Zizai said. Wang Yao took a sip of the soup and savored it carefully. Sir, what do you think? Not bad, Wang Yao said with a smile. He could taste the ginseng, wolfberry, sealwort, and other medicinal herbs used in it. Of course, these medicinal herbs were not as good as the ones Wang Yao grew on Nanshan Hill. In fact, they used cheap medicinal herbs. They did business to make money, not to do charity. Sir, I'd like to propose a toast to you. Jia Zizai raised her glass. Thank you, Wang Yao said with a smile. You should eat some of this fish appropriately. Wang Yao picked up a piece of fish and tasted it carefully. What's wrong? Is there a problem again? Jia Zizai spat out the fish meat that had entered her mouth. It's not a big problem. It's just that there are some conflicts between the two herbs, Wang Yao said with a smile. It's not a big problem. At most, it will cause diarrhea. Ah, that's nothing, Jia Zizai replied. She then put another piece of fish into her mouth. It's delicious. By the way, sir, can you taste the backlash of the herbs? One is licorice, which is a commonly used Chinese medicinal herb. It can be used to balance various herbs, but it has a backlash with the carp. It's not suitable to use it in this dish. What about the other one? The other one is chicken. Chicken? Is that also a medicine? Yes and no. A small amount of chicken soup is added in it. The carp and chicken soup have a slight conflict. Isn't there a famous dish called Farewell My Concubine? It uses carp and chicken soup. That's why I said it's not a problem to eat less. At most, it will cause stomach discomfort, Wang Yao said with a smile. Eating with you will also increase my knowledge. In addition to the big pot stewed fish dish, there was also a spicy fried chicken dish that was very special. Well, these two dishes are very good. I think people will come here to eat, including the people in the county, Pan Jun said. After eating, Wang Yao returned to the mountain village. Do you want to drink tea at my place? Don't drink tea immediately after eating the fish. Wait for a while, Wang Yao said. Shall we play poker? No, I'll go back to the clinic to study these insects. You guys go ahead. Okay. Thank you, sir. You're welcome, Wang Yao said with a smile. He went back to the clinic and took out the glass bottle with the poisonous insect. A few worms were crawling around inside. Wang Yao gently opened the lid of the bottle. The insects were manic at first, as if they wanted to jump out. Then, for some reason, they suddenly lay at the bottom of the bottle and gathered together. It was as if they had encountered something very terrible and encountered a creature that they were afraid of. Well, why didn't they have this reaction when I was in the hot spring? Wang Yao thought. Did they not react in time? He returned home and took a rabbit from the cage. What are you doing with the rabbit? Zhang Xiuying asked. I'm doing an experiment. Wang Yao smiled. He put the rabbit in a cardboard box and put a bug in it. The bug only reacted for a moment. Then, it suddenly jumped on the rabbit. After a while, the rabbit began to twitch. Apparently, it was poisoned. Very aggressive. Wang Yao took out the bug and put it in the glass bottle. He poured a bowl of medicine made with detoxification grass into the rabbit's mouth and waited quietly for the reaction. Soon, less than an hour after the rabbit took the medicine, the obvious abnormal reaction began to weaken. Wang Yao put some leaves and grass into the cardboard box. The rabbit began to eat. It's very toxic. Wang Yao then did several other experiments to understand some of the characteristics of the poisonous insect. This kind of poisonous insect grows in places where the geothermal heat is extremely strong. It belongs to heat toxins. It should be used as medicine, but it is poisonous. Therefore, the dosage should be controlled when it is used. In a county thousands of miles away in southern Yunnan, in a private room in a well-decorated hotel, Guo Jinghe was receiving a man in his 40s. He was thin and his hair was a little yellow. He looked a little less energetic. Uncle Su, sorry to trouble you, Guo Jinghe said. Young master, you are welcome, the man said. Just tell me if you need anything. Uncle Su, you can call me Jinghe. Young master sounds awkward to me. Guo Jinghe poured a glass of wine for the middle-aged man. I'll call you young master when there is no one around, but I'll call you Secretary Guo when we are outside. That's fine, Guo Jinghe said. You called me here for something, right? Let's eat first, Guo Jinghe said. Okay. After 3 rounds of wine and 5 dishes, Guo Jinghe handed the information bag that suddenly appeared in his office to the middle-aged man. Take a look first. The middle-aged man took the information bag. He opened it and read the content of the first page. His face changed. He read through it very carefully. Where did you get these things, young master? Guo Jinghe told the middle-aged man in detail what happened that day and how the information bag appeared on his desk without anyone noticing. Have you had any contact with these strange people, young master? The middle-aged man asked. I haven't had any contact so far, Guo Jinghe said. The middle-aged man was silent for a while. I saw the news before I came here, the middle-aged man said. A strange thing happened in the place you are in charge of in the past 2 days. 11 people died in a village in 3 days, right? The middle-aged man asked. Yes, there is such a thing, the middle-aged man said. The criminal investigation experts in the provincial capital have come and taken over the case. Can I have a look at the relevant information? The middle-aged man asked. No problem, Guozhenghe said. He took out another file. Obviously, he had prepared it. The middle-aged man took it and read it carefully. There was more information this time, so he took a longer time to read it. Guozhenghe was not in a hurry. He waited quietly. I don't have any evidence, but based on my experience and feelings over the years, these people were most likely not killed by natural causes, the middle-aged man said. They were killed. But I didn't find any evidence of murder on their bodies, Guozhenghe said. Personally, he was inclined to believe that these people died unnaturally, but everything required evidence. What he lacked the most now was evidence. So, someone sent you this information, the middle-aged man said. Chapter 850. Uncle Sue, do you mean that this matter has something to do with the so-called Valley of Thousands of Medicine? Yes, it has something to do with them, the middle-aged man said. The person who sent you this information probably knows the inside story. Why did he find me? He should have inquired about you, young master, the middle-aged man said. This person probably has a grudge against the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, but he couldn't take revenge with his own ability. So, he found you and wanted to take revenge through the connections behind you. Of course, this is just my guess and one of the possibilities. It's also possible that this person is a righteous warrior who wants to get rid of violence and protect the good and uphold justice. You happen to be the local ruler, so he found you. Why does it sound like a novel to me? Guozhenghe said with a smile. Obviously, he did not believe in the last possibility. In this society, such people were more precious than pandas. It could be said that they were extinct. What do you think I should do, Uncle Sue? You don't know who sent this to you, the middle-aged man said. This is not easy to handle. If this Valley of Thousands of Medicine really exists, it should be easier to investigate. How about this? I'll go and find out first. Well, be careful, Uncle Sue, the middle-aged man said. I've read the information provided. This Valley of Thousands of Medicine is very good at using poison. No one knows. Don't fall into their trap. Well, I know. Wait for my news. Uncle Sue, take this with you. The password is your birthday. Guozhenghe took out a bank card and handed it to the middle-aged man. Remember, safety first. If there is any danger, withdraw immediately. Don't worry, young master. It's not the first time I've done this kind of thing. The middle-aged man took the card and got up to leave. Guozhenghe sat alone in the private room, quietly smoking a cigarette. Using my hand to take revenge. Is that a good idea? A strange smile suddenly appeared on his face. Who could it be? In a city in the south, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. He's dead. Who killed him? I don't know about that. Check it out. I'll do my best, Brother Zhang, the middle-aged man said. In your current situation, it's not suitable for you to show your face in public. You're still a wanted criminal. What's wrong? Are you scared? You can report me and get a reward. How is that possible? If it weren't for you, I would have died there. Although I don't have a good reputation, I'm not a heartless person. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you, the man with sunglasses and a sallow face said. Well, you can't judge a book by its cover, the man in the baseball cap said. Haha. Apart from this, is there anything else you need me to do? It's fine. Keep this. Thank you. When they came out of the tea house, the sky was a little gloomy. Brother Zhang, are you all right? Yeah, it's pretty good. I've never been so healthy. That's good. Enjoy your life. Don't tire yourself out. Enjoy life. Maybe in your next life. The man pressed down on the brim of his hat and walked into the crowd. Next life? The man in sunglasses had a cigarette in his mouth. He walked in the opposite direction. After the rain in the empty mountains, the weather turned to autumn. When it was close to evening, the fifth rain after the beginning of autumn fell in the mountain village. It was not heavy, but it was accompanied by the autumn wind. After this rain, the weather would probably cool down a lot. No one came to see the doctor in the clinic. When Wang Yao was about to close the door and go to Nanshan Hill, Zheng Weijun came to the clinic. Sir, all the equipment is ready. Shall we go and have a look? So fast. Wang Yao was a little surprised. He remembered that the equipment had just been put in place the last time he went to see it. I asked them to arrange the construction period according to the schedule. They basically worked overtime. The sooner the installation is completed, the sooner the debugging can be done. Okay, let's go and have a look, Wang Yao said. Anyway, there were no patients in the clinic. He locked the door and hung a sign saying that he had something to do outside. Then, he drove to the factory of Nanshan Pharmaceutical with Zheng Weijun. Sure enough, the pharmaceutical equipment had basically been installed, and the factory had been cleaned up. Some people had even begun to test the equipment. Of course, it was just a test run with electricity or water. The speed was indeed quite fast. Sir, take a look. Are you satisfied? To be honest, I don't know much about this equipment. I'm just a layman, but it looks like it's all imported, right? Well, it's from Germany, Zheng Weijun said. In fact, the equipment in Japan is more suitable, but I just don't like them. That's not necessary, Wang Yao said with a smile. Can we sell it to them after their equipment is made? This was called learning from foreigners to subdue foreigners. Sir, shall we make that medicine first? Yes, just that medicine, Zheng Weijun said. Let's see how effective it is before considering other prescriptions. Okay, I'll listen to you, Zheng Weijun said. The installation, debugging, and acceptance will probably take more than a month, Zheng Weijun said. In other words, we can start production at the end of November and the beginning of December. Okay. The process of a medicine from production to marketing and acceptance by users was even longer. It needed to see the effect of advertising and publicity. It also needed to see the efficacy of the medicine. Sir, I plan to start advertising in December, Zheng Weijun said. Advertising? Yes. How much will it cost? For the first phase, I estimate it will cost 5 to 6 million, Zheng Weijun said. That's quite a lot. Of course, Zheng Weijun said. We'll consider the advertising cost for the second phase after seeing the effect. Zheng Weijun said. In this aspect, he was relatively good at it. In the past, when he was in the family business, he was mainly responsible for this. Why don't we try it without advertising? Without advertising? Zheng Weijun was stunned. Well, do we only go through formal channels? Well, it depends on word of mouth. Sir, in a market economy, word of mouth is only one aspect, Zheng Weijun said. Advertising is also indispensable. I'm just making a suggestion, Zheng Weijun said. You have the final say. Okay. Zheng Weijun breathed a sigh of relief after hearing that. He was really worried that the person in front of him did not want to do advertising and only relied on the accumulation of word of mouth of the medicine to hit the market. It was not that he did not trust Wang Yao, but the process was too long. He was a businessman. Business was business. Friendship was friendship, and business was business. Actually, for the medicine, most of the equipment is not used, Wang Yao said. It will be useful in the future, Zheng Weijun said. By the way, sir, I've already asked someone to get a stone at the place you mentioned last time. Can you go and see if it's suitable? Okay, let's go and have a look. The two of them held an umbrella and went to the place where they had been last time. A uniquely shaped stone was placed on the originally empty space. Lingbai stone? At first glance, Wang Yao could tell what kind of stone it was. Sir, you're amazing. You actually know about stones? Lingbai stone was a famous stone. It was placed in many places and used as a large feng shui stone. This stone is not cheap, right? 200,000. Haha, it's quite good. Wang Yao smiled after hearing that. Rich people were different. They were willing to spend so much money to buy such a big stone. In fact, he felt that a rock on the North Mountain was quite good. It did not look much worse than the Lingbai stone. Sir, what else do you think is not suitable? No, it's quite good. Now, standing in this place, the breath was very smooth and comfortable. The previous breath was blocked. Ring. Buzz. At that moment, Zheng Weijuan's cell phone rang. When he saw the phone number, he frowned slightly. Sorry, sir, I have to take a call. Go ahead. Hello. Are you so distant? You don't even call me big brother. Let's not be so hypocritical, Zheng Weijun said. Just say what you want to say. I'm in Qi province. Are you free tomorrow? Let's meet. I'm very busy here. Are you busy enough to eat? Tomorrow at noon, Zheng Weijun said. Okay, I'll look for you then. Although he was quite a distance away from Wang Yao still heard him clearly. It seems that the brothers don't get along well. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Nights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.